Alrighty then, good morning. Hello, greetings and salutations, one and all, and welcome. Let me fix a couple things. There's gonna be very loud music for a second. I'm gonna adjust. Alright, there we go. Chill music, thank you. Hi everyone, and welcome. My name's Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and I do Pathfinder. Welcome to the Pathfinder place. The pathfinding has been done. You have found your path here. Now you are here. Now we're here. Isn't that amazing? And today we are going to be reading through a first contact read of the Player Core book. Yes, that is what we are doing. The Player Core book, for those of you who are in the big know, is this book here. It contains some new races, some new some new classes. I say new. Okay, we need to backtrack a little bit. What is the Player Core 2? Why is it here? So, as you guys know, Pathfinder 2nd Edition has been out for a few years now. But then there was the OGL debacle from Wizards of the Coast, blah, 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 blah. Pathfinder decided to have a revised, revisited version of their game system, which completely separates them from all the stuff from the OGL and follows their new orc system, which is, you know, the open referencing something. But anyway, so they started re-releasing stuff. So they started re-releasing the first Pathfinder 2nd Edition core to the Player Core and GM core. This is now the follow-up to that, as this is now the remastered 2nd Edition stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff that we'll have seen already. There's some new stuff. But we're going to go through all of that as we watch. Now, I've only kind of given it the quickest, you know, flippity-flippity, blippity-blippity thing, and, you know, just kind of looked at the pictures. But I want to give it a proper read and just sort of go down through some stuff, since we don't have a Careful Cantrip game today. So that's just me chilling out with you guys. So it almost sounds a little like the revamp of the D&D 5e. Okay, kind of. D&D... Okay, so D&D goes through these phases where you have an addition, then you have like a 0.5 jump where they modify and update things. The update is generally an encouragement to buy the new materials. Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the revisited stuff, you actually don't need to update this stuff. The updated stuff is mostly just like a terminology change. For example, instead of attack of opportunity, you have reactive strikes. Instead of being flat-footed, you would be off guard. So it's just about reassembling the same system with the removal of the terms and vibe stuff from D&D. So that's really all it is. There is obviously some new stuff, but you could absolutely play what's called Pathfinder 2e Legacy, all the stuff before the remastered, and it is completely compatible, and there is no little subtle subtext of, oh, well, you know, if you have the new material, you should play the new material. It's none of that bullshit. It's just play what you want. So, yeah. Pardon me. All right. So that's the big difference. Yeah. It is a little clearer too, and it makes it so that you're not confusing rules as much as one would normally. So yeah, there you go. Now again, we are in interactive chat, so if you have any questions as we're reading and as we're doing stuff, please ask. I am not doing this as a DAG reads, even though it is a DAG read and it says DAG reads right there. We are browsing, we are perusing. This is what I like to call a first read, where I'll be looking at the materials, giving it a casual glance, and discussing things as they kind of catch my interest. If it doesn't catch my interest, I might just go blah, 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 and then skip to the next thing. So, apologies if that's, you know, shit. If you want me to go back and look more clearly at something, ask. Please ask. Very, very important. Be vocal. Okay. So the music is there. Just let me know if it gets too loud or whatever. But yes. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of cool stuff, especially with the Dragon Blood stuff. But we'll get into that in a minute. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so cool. Table of contents. We have the Ancestries and backgrounds, which are all listed there. We will have the Catfolk, the Hobgoblin, the Colo, which is their updated version of the Null, the Kobold, the Lizardfolk, the Ratfolk, the Tangu, which is obviously the Kenku, but, you know, and the Tripkey. The Tripkey was formerly known as the Gripply, which was the D&D version of it, but yeah. Then we have Versatile Heritages, for those of you who don't know what that is. Instead of doing like half-elf and half-orc as its own individual ancestry, they've made Versatile Heritages, so you can be anything you want, so you can be a Catfolk, then apply the Versatile Heritage to it, and get features of the elf as well to make a half-elf. So with the Versatile Heritage, you have the Dampier, which is part vampire, the Dragon Blood, which sounds like part dragon, and the Duskwalker, which in Pathfinder, there's like the realm of the dead and the people who live in the realm of the dead, who are known as the Duskwalkers, and you know that's where they're from. So yeah, cool. Some new backgrounds, which is cool. All right, the classes that they're going to be putting into this one. Now this kind of wraps up all the primary classes from Pathfinder 2nd Ed that we've got up to now. Most of them. We have the Alchemist, the Barbarian, the Champion, the Investigator, the Monk, the Oracle, the Sorcerer, the Swashbuckler, and a chapter on Familiars. Okay, that'll be interesting. Archetypes, we have the Alchemist, you know, all the multi-class ones that allow us to, you know, get and dabble into all these things. The Acrobat, the Archaeologist, the Archer. Okay, cool. I do like specialist weapon archetypes because it means that, you know, you have at least a focal point for your builds. Like if you are playing an archer rather than just being a fighter and then having to just make do, yeah, you've got to kind of like focus on that. The archer is its own class. Yes. In Pathfinder, they use okay. So swashbucklers have been swashbucklers and what's the other one? Pain eaters. Swashbucklers and pain eaters are notorious, for those of you who are as old as I am in Pathfinder, for having like, there is a class, there is a prestige class, there is a archetype, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So because there was so many different iterations of the swashbuckler, now it's kind of condensed and they've gone, yep, cool, it's a base class. There, done. So yeah, it's a cool base class too. It's basically your dexterity based fighter. The assassin makes his return. That's nice. I do like the assassin. I hope. Paint eater? No, it's not paint eater. Could be a paint eater. I knew some paint eaters growing up. But yeah, the assassin is one of those ones that I think has had like a really rough go, because a lot of people are like, if you in your surprise round make an attack, you automatically land a critical hit. And they need to make a fort save, or otherwise they'll, you know, wear their underpants on their heads. And how many times, honestly, how many times is one person going to get that surprise action, you know, done? It's going to be like, you know, I don't know, like the older versions are just not that great. So I'm hoping we get to see a cool update to the assassin to make them actually, you know, function and decent. The Bastion, no idea what that is. Probably some sort of defender or, you know, tank. Beastmaster, cool, very nice. The Blessed One, maybe something like the Chosen One from 3.5, maybe? Because I know a lot of the writers are fans of 3.5. The Chosen One was someone who was given blessings by a god but didn't have a choice in the matter. So you could get blessings from a god that you don't even worship. Bounty Hunters, cool. Cavalier, okay, so the Cavalier is no longer a base class. It's now an archetype. That's cool. The Celebrity, ooh, and the Dandy. I like that. Okay, so what's the difference between a celebrity and a dandy? Just get to play a noble person? What class features would the Dandy even have? All right, and then the Dual Weapon Warrior. Oh, and we got more. Jesus, okay. The Duelist. Nice. The Duelist? Really? I think hopefully that'll be a swashbuckler with a pistol. So with the underpants on the head, what if he's going commando? Oh no, that's dangerous, Cookie. Dangerous thinking there, Cookie. You'll take my blessing whether you like it or not. Yep, that's it. All right, the Duelist. Yeah, so I'm hoping that the Duelist is just like a gunslinger mixed with the swashbuckler, because otherwise, isn't the Duelist just a swashbuckler? The Eldritch Archer, cool, good to see that one back. The Familiar Master, which I imagine is like the Beastmaster, but with tinier animals. The Gladiator, cool, performance-based combat. Herbalism, yep, makes sense. Linguist, okay, interesting. So someone who specializes in multilingual skills. I mean, honestly, most of my tables these days, I don't know what it is, but most of my tables these days absolutely have linguists. Like, somebody will specialize in like taking a ton of different languages and stuff in my table. You guys find that? Do you guys have that in your tables? Like someone will be the do you speak this language person? The martial, hopefully like kind of a warrior bard, that'd be cool. The martial artist. Again, if we've got the monk and the monk multi-class, I'm wondering what the martial artist is. So maybe the duelist is a swashbuckler again. Interesting. Okay. The mauler. I mean, the mauler in the older editions was someone who basically strangled someone, so maybe. The medic. Good to see the medic back. Pirate. Cool. Poisoner. Awesome. Ritualist. Interesting. So rituals in Pathfinder are spells that take longer than 3 rounds to usually cast. Interesting that there's an archetype for it, and I'm curious to see what that one will have, because it's almost like a downtime spell casting tree at the moment, right? Like, it's hard to cast rituals. So yeah. A swashbuckler and a pirate. Yes, so a pirate would be someone I would imagine would have not only skills for swashbuckling, but also mostly the pirate would cover things like sailing, being aboard a ship, intimidation, that kind of thing. That would be my thought. A swashbuckler traditionally was a person who used a foil or a rapier, as well as a small buckler as a weapon. So that was the original one. And rum, always rum. Unless there's no rum, because the rum might be gone. Okay. Then we got the scout. Cool. I hope that they keep the kind of traditional idea of the scout and movement bonuses for maneuverability. Scroll trickster. Interesting. I think that might be a remastery of an old, like, just the scroll master, a person who just uses a lot of scrolls. Because traditionally, when you're using a scroll, you're kind of like coaxing the spell out of it, like you're finishing the script on the last few lines of that scroll before casting it. So I'm interested to see how one would trick a scroll. Would the archetype come with an option for setback of infamy? Ooh, maybe. Who knows? The scrounger. Somebody digs around, I guess. Sentinel. Okay, again, another tank sounds like maybe. The snare crafter, trap maker. Good to see that one back. The talisman dabbler. That could be kind of cool. Reminds me of the thaumaturge, which is one of the legacy classes. One of the ones that hasn't been converted yet. The vigilante is back. That's kind of cool. So basically, Pathfinder's version of Batman, where you get to like live and hide in the shadows and exact vigilante justice. So that's kind of cool. The Viking, which is cool. Love Vikings. The weapon improviser. So Jackie Chan. Wrestler, cool. Focus on grappling. That'll be good. And that's it. Then we got feats, spells, treasure, and equipment. Done. Nice. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff getting covered here in the player core. There's a lot of player options. Again, we're not going to go through every single thing. This isn't a full daggery. This is just first contact. But from the looks of it, aside from a couple of archetypes that seem to double up, it'll be very interesting to see how this works. And yeah, I'm also really keen on the vigilante and the talisman dabbler as well. All right. Introductions. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. How to use this book. Begin reading. Continue until you're done. Good. Excellent. Ooh, pretty pictures. Look at them. Catfolk, highly social feline humanoids, prone to curiosity and wandering. Hobgoblins. Nice. Hobgoblins are taller and stronger than their goblin kin, often arranged into military structures. Okay, so they're pretty much the same. The Colo are hyena-headed humanoids who embrace practicality and pragmatism. Okay. So, talking on a brief topic here real quick. The Colo originally were obviously the Gnolls, and the Gnolls were all about slavery and barbarism and stuff like that. From what I've read previously and what it sounds like here, is it's a misunderstanding of cultures. The Colo have very much, they're always out for survival. They're out for themselves. They will not risk even a single Colo life if they do not have to. That's kind of like how tightly knit their community is. So in that sense, they will do whatever benefits them in any given situation, making them seem very dishonorable, very chaotic, very nasty, So I do like that they've taken that angle, because I know I'm a big advocate of like, let evil things be evil. It's allowed to be evil, but I like the fact that they've justified why Colo might be bad here in this particular thing, but also applied something that could actually at a table function in a really, really positive way. Because if a Colo joins the group and sees the group as its pack, it will not want anyone in its pack to risk themselves and die, and I like that. Although it's really funny too, because can you imagine like a Colo version of Spock? That'd be funny. All right, Kobolds. Kobolds are small and reptilian with features marked by the powers they choose to follow. Ooh, interesting. with features marked by the power they choose to follow. Interesting. So their belief system actively participates in their appearance. I can't wait to read more about that. Lizardfolk! Hell yeah, Lizardfolk are scaled humanoids with a history that stretches into the distant past. Ooh. Lore drops for the Lizardfolk. Ratfolk. Ratfolk are small, clever, and adaptable humanoids with rat-like features and a love for community. Ah, love that. Tangu. Tangus are gregarious and resourceful avian humanoids who collect knowledge and treasure alike. Yeah, magpies. That's it. Tripkeys. Tripkeys are frog-like humanoids whose spirit often exceeds their stature. Ah, just a little guy. I love that. Yeah, that's actually kind of cute. That is kind of cute. Okay, cool. So far, Catfolk, always good to see Catfolk back. Hobgoblins, I personally love Hobgoblins. I think they're an underrated bad guy and good guy. Colo, love the Colo, very, very excited. Kobolds, very curious, as I am with the Lizardfolk. Ratfolk, good to see them back. I hope they add a little bit to them, because, you know, Ratfolk just kind of fall into that category of yet another animal creature. And very recently in the book Howl of the Wilds, they allowed you to play anthropomorphized animals. So, I mean, you can already play a rat. What's going to make the difference between a rat and a Ratfolk, you know? Tangu, very, very cool. I think it'll be interesting to see them as the, like, kind of the Aarakocra, you know, like, it'd be interesting if they didn't necessarily go with specifically crows for the Tangu and went with a general avian race that could include Tangu. But I'm interested to see what they do with it. Tripkey, I love Tripkeys. They're amazing. Braun, good to see you again. Pathfinder Tripkey and D&D Grung, always adorable, always dangerous. Yeah, absolutely. I believe kobolds have been de-dragoned in the new book. Oh, okay, well, let's have a look. I can't wait to see that. In classes, we went over again. The Alchemist, throw bomb. Barbarian, hit stick. Champion, hit stick for God. Investigator, look hard. Monk, think hard. Oracle, pray hard. Well, actually, don't pray. Cursed by God, can use spell now. Sorcerer, have blood from other thing. Can cast spell now. Swashbuckler, buckle them swashers and swish, swish, swish. There we go, done. I should do like a short, like, you know, like, welcome to Pathfinder. Let me introduce you to characters. Behold, Tiny Green Man, throw a bomb. This Alchemist, you play. You know, and that's the whole series. You know, it's just a bunch of shorts by this Russian dude who's trying to sell, like, Pathfinder characters, like he's selling them from the back of a truck. That'd be funny. All right. Ooh, pretty. Look at all the Lizardfolk doing their Lizardfolk thing. Bolo it up. All right, Ancestries and background. We know what Ancestries are. We know what they do. Yada, yada. We know how to read them. Okay. Catfolk. Here we go. Curious and gregarious wanderers, Catfolk combine the features of feline and humanoid in both appearance and temperament. They enjoy learning new things, collecting new tales and trinkets, and ensuring their loved ones are safe and happy. Catfolk view themselves as the chosen guardians of natural places in the world, and are often recklessly brave, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. They believe that strong community, breadth of experience, and continual self-improvement aid them in this fight. As quick as their reflexes are, catfolks have quicker tempers, shifting from effuse gleeve to aggrieved fury in an instant. Like mundane felines, catfolks involuntarily purr when pleased and growl when surprised or angry. If you want a character who is curious, brave and friendly, and nimble in body and mind, you should play a catfolk. You might demonstrate genuine interest by asking a lot of enthusiastic questions, or avoid interpersonal conflicts by giving someone the cold shoulder, or simply by leaving the area. Others probably think you monopolize the conversation with your incessant queries or opinions, or ascribe to more emotion than you feel your involuntary purrs or growling. Okay, cool. So, yeah, pretty much a cat person, you know, like, I mean, look, let's not pretend here. We understand what it is, you know, being a catfolk and being a cat person. That's not what's up for question here. What's up for question is like if they've kind of like developed or folded into things from, like, you know, their lore, their background, etc., etc., etc. Also, my Twitch chat on stream is being weird. Let's just do this a little bit. There we go. Is that actually refreshing, or is that way back up? Hold on. Interesting. Let me just test something out real quick. Aha, there we go. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Why is this menu so big? Okay, there we go. Jeez, some crow. There we go. All right. Good, good. Yeah. Nailed it. No one saw anything. Yeah, I know. It's way behind. There we go. Much better. Okay, so. Society. Catfolks call themselves Amuruns. Cool. Although many consider this name to be private. They raise their children in large extended families where they are given latitude to explore and get into trouble from a remarkably young age. Catfolks learn a trade in loose apprenticeship, and majority learn several trades over their lives. Their society is often led by an appointed leader who speaks on behalf of the community and mediates disputes. They prefer to deal with grievances by making an elaborate show of disinterest or by leaving the community for a time so the problem can die away. Catfolks are given short names in their youth, and adolescent cats are free to choose different names when they leave their home. Interesting. I like that. That's a very interesting society, like almost like an aversion to conflict. You know, that's it. Oh, Phantom is MIA. Let's see. There you go. There you go. Phantom's back. Done. And I will not clean anything up in post. I never clean things up in post. Okay, there we go. All right. So, cool. Beliefs. Most catfolks believe they were uplifted from a great primeval cat to confront the evil abominations of spoiling natural places and laboring to unmake reality. Many, however, enjoy the freedom to travel and like to set their own paths in life. Religious catfolks often practice a nebulous form of animism, appeasing the spirits of the land and creatures they hunt to preserve the natural order. Travel the world in natural places, fastidiously maintain your appearance, and yeah, cool. And anathemas. Leave questions unanswered is a popular anathema. That's interesting. Fair enough. Makes sense. So yeah. Catfolk heritage. So you've got clawed catfolks, hunting catfolks, jungle catfolks, liminal catfolk. What's liminal? You've inherited closeness to the far corners of the world, yada yada. You can detect magic cantrip. Okay. So that just means you've kind of got an occultish nature to you. Okay. Yes, bits feed phantom. Or eat. Yeah. Let's see. 9 lives, catfolk. Other catfolks which be in 9 lives. When you're dying, don't add your dying value to the DC of your recovery checks. In addition, you gain Die Hard. Wow, that's actually really good. So in Pathfinder, when you go down or when you hit 0 hit points, there is no negative hit points anymore. Instead, you gain the dying value. Every round, you must roll a d20 recovery check in order to try and restore yourself, which is a flat d20 roll with a DC equal to 10 plus your dying value, which goes up to 4, at which point you die. So to actually always keep it at a like a just on 55% chance, 45% chance throughout every single roll is actually really good. Plus you get Die Hard as well, which means you actually have to do 5 rolls before you die. So that's freaking amazing. That's actually really good. You are very hard to kill. Sharp-eared, makes sense. Winter, good for environment. Nice. Okay, cool. As for what they get, they're medium-sized. Their boosts are to dexterity, charisma. That makes sense. Their floor is to wisdom. That's an interesting choice. Wisdom obviously includes your perception as well. And I've always found cats to be quite perceptive. It's interesting that that is their floor. Though I guess cats can be very dismissive, so who knows? Who knows indeed. Let's see, they've got low light vision and land on your feet. When you fall, you take only half the normal damage and don't fall prone. That's cool. Yeah, okay. Dig that. So you like almost automatically get the Catfall ability, which again makes sense. Level 1 feats. So these when you take a ancestry in Pathfinder 2nd edition, at various levels, you will actually get to choose ancestry feats. These are the ancestry feat options available to the Catfolk. Who's messaging me? Someone's messaging me. Reign of Winter. Okay, cool. Yeah. Wednesday games should be good. Yay. Good. Hi, Marcus. Okay. Or they're easily distracted, justified. Yeah, okay, that's a good point, School A. They could be easily distracted, which obviously wisdom is your concentration skills and stuff. Makes sense. All right, so let's see. Catnap. You regain your energy after 10 minutes. You gain temporary hit points equal to your level. Ooh, nice. So Catnap now functions like a almost like a short rest in D&D. So that's interesting. Cat's Luck. You re-roll a saving throw. That's good. Catfolk Dance. Did you have a habit of always being in the way? Another creature starts to move. Wow. Okay. So cool. So so as an action, you can penalize someone's reflex save by being in the way. That's actually kind of cute. I like that. Ah, I'm doing well. Thank you, Marcus. I hope you're doing well too. And yeah, he's sucking up so he doesn't die. Won't help him. Catfolk lore. So learning about catfolk and stuff. Weapon familiarity. They have the Kama, which is a kind of like a sharp. It's like a stick with a large sharp blade attached to it. The kukri, the scimitar, and the sickle for proficiencies. That's cool. Saber teeth. You have long fangs, naturally augmented. You gain jaw attack with 1d6 piercing. Nice. I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of like a saber-toothed cat. Well met, traveler. Your demeanor is good when you meet people, better in diplomacy, and you get Hobnobbler. Cool. Higher levels, you get Climbing Claw, which gives you climb speed, graceful guidance, which allows you use your aid action to grant a bonus to a reflex save. So you can penalize people's reflex with the dance, and then boost their reflex with graceful guidance. That's cool. Light pause, you can balance on your toes to step over obstacles. You can stride, step, or stride, ignoring difficult terrain. Nice, cool, love that. Lucky break. Trigger Cat's Luck when you fail or critically fail. Full will. Acrobatics, athletics, in addition to reflex. You can use Cat's Luck once per day. Nice, okay, cool. So you get a reroll on a bunch of extra stuff. Pride Hunter. Use lesser cover from your allies to hide. Nice, like that. Springing Leaper. Your powerful legs suddenly make you make a dramatic leap, which doubles the distance or triples it, depending on what you're doing. Nice. Fastidious Grooming, bonus to save against diseases. Okay, that's nice. Still talking about Marcus dying. All right. Aggravating Scratch. Cat's Claw is an irritant, but it can be damaging to others. Cat's Scratch deals an additional 1d4 poison damage. So, like, is that like just an allergic reaction? I feel, maybe. Evade Doom. Huh, cool. Just straight up avoid the Doom condition. Nice. That's cool. Oh, is the music loud? I can lower the music if it's too loud. Nope, the music's okay. I can be louder. I could speak louder. No, it's fine. Okay. Let's see. Luck of the Clouder. When you use Cat Luck to reroll on your roll, choose a creature within 10 feet who failed against the same roll. They can also reroll. Ah, so now you can share the luck as well. That's cool. That's cool. Predator's Growl, a throaty growl to demoralize. -4 for not sharing a language. Oh, you don't take a -4 penalty for not sharing a language. Ah, okay, cool. Silent Step. Cool. You step, then hide or sneak. So you can do that with one action instead of two. The Wary Skulker. Perform the Scout Exploration at the same time as Avoid Notice. Ooh, that's cool. 13th level, Black Cat Curse. Target rerolls the triggering saving throw and takes the worst result. So yep, that's so yeah, you could basically curse someone else and make them roll with disadvantage. Caterwall, an ally within 30 foot would be reduced to be 0 points, but not killed. Daring Yell, calling your companion. Ah, cool. So as a reaction, your Caterwall will stop them from falling to 0 and being knocked out. They will instead stay on 1 hit point. That's actually really freaking cool. It's once per day, which is, reasonable, but that's actually a really cool ability. Catfolks at the moment just seem like they have a lot of really good supporting abilities, for sure. Level 17, elude trouble, straight up to your speed. Your movement doesn't trigger reactions from the creature that missed you. Ah, that's cool. So if someone hits you but misses you with an attack, you can then just bounce out. That's cool. Reliable luck. You can use cat lucks once per hour, then once per day. Nice. 10 lives. When your character would die, you can attempt a DC 17 check. On a success, you are instead reduced to 0 hit points and the dying value 1 less than that would normally kill you. Cool. So just straight up 10 lives. You just don't die. Hilarious. That's awesome. They are very angy. Yeah, predators in tiny bodies. But now they're big bodies. All right, cool. Now we're up to hobgoblins. All right, I'm going to grab a quick drink because I need one. And then I will return. And then we will continue into hobgoblins. McBluff, say something interesting. Yeah. It's got a thing of juice. Let's see. Oh dear, that was unfortunate. Poor guy. Got blinded by the sun. Alright. Oh, can be gobbo? Can be tall gobbo? Oh no! Yeah, hobgoblins. Now I've always loved hobgoblins. Hobgoblins for me are, I did get my dag juice. My dag juice is a custom juice. It's got passion fruit, it's got mango, it's got orange, it's got carrot, it's got a few bits and pieces. It's got ginger. Yeah. So there you go. My chat can't leave you for 10 seconds. Anyway, so hobgoblins, yes. So I've always loved hobgoblins because hobgoblins have like kind of this military upbringing in the past where, the leader is the person who is the strongest, but also the most cunning, the most ruthless. It reminds me very much of like Klingons in retrospect. Like if you are unfit to lead, they will kill you off and then usurp your throne, and then that's just how they live. Like as soon as you become an unfit leader, they replace you violently by force. So I'm very interested to see how these guys compare and if they are going to be the same. So. Taller and stronger than their goblin kin, hobgoblins are equals in strength and size to humans, with broad shoulders and long, powerful arms. The Avestinian cycle of Avestini cycle of unthinking conflict with hobgoblins has recently been upended by Oprak, the newly established hobgoblin nation in the mountains between Nidal and Nermanthas. Now under strict orders to not start conflicts with other nations, these hobgoblins have begun to cautiously investigate in the spirit of cooperation rather than conquest. Many people, especially those who suffered terrible cruelties caused by hobgoblins, fear that this simply paused in the aggression, while Oprak gains enough strength to crush its rivals. Others hope these bold soldiers may prove to be powerful allies. You might seek out the most effective and practical solutions to any problem. Encourage a clear chain of command among any group you travel with, following orders even if you disagree with them. Others probably consider you dangerous due to your reputation and intimidating appearance. Recognize your incredible endurance, dedication, and discipline. Physical description. Hobgoblins are, well, we can see them right there. Bald, beady eyes, yada yada yada. Okay, so it does look like they are fundamentally the same, but they've taken away the conquest stuff. I don't mind that. I think that's good world building, that's good storytelling. I love the fact that they do still keep there's like this question mark. It's like, hobgoblins are friendly. Maybe. But maybe not. Who knows? So I do like this idea. I do like this. I do like that they've kind of lent into it. And as I've said before, I've had my opinions on the pacification of villainous characters, and hobgoblins. This is probably one of the well done ones because there's still a lot of open-ended bits for them to still just as a giant, as their culture, be evil in comparison to the human standard. Yes, they still reside off, military tactics and stuff like that. Yes, they still want to conquer things and stuff like that. But, maybe they're up to something. Maybe there's a big ploy. Who knows? And I like that. I like that there's still that. Society. Hobgoblins structure their society after military hierarchies. Even civilian groups such as farming collectives or trading houses organize into regiments and companies and divisions. Hobgoblin veterans hold a high place in their society, usually becoming leaders or advisors. Magic is rarely practiced and often derided, as most hobgoblins don't trust it over strength of their own sword arms. Their arts tend to have a military bent. Many hobgoblins consider stirring marches and weaponsmithing the only artistic endeavors worth pursuing. Like goblins, hobgoblin names tend to be simple, though hobgoblin names usually sound more guttural and with force. On rare occasions, a hobgoblin will alter their name, keeping the core but adding aspects, usually in response to extreme trauma or life-altering events. Hobgoblins have no surnames, considering them both pointless and presumptuous. An individual's merits and demerits are to be earned in action, not by association with a lineage. That's cool, I like that. Yeah, hobgoblins are super cool in Pathfinder. You want Tall Gobbo. Tall Gobbo, fair enough. Does Hobgoblin know it's got a little bomb attached to its chest, or are they Pathfinder super mutant suicide bombs from Fallout? No. So, one of the Hobgoblin's main military factions is actually a bunch of bat riders, where they actually carpet bomb people in military things. So they'll wear these bandoliers filled with bombs, spark them up, and then just drop them off to the side of these bats. So I think that's a nod to that, which is cool. My mom says I'm only allowed to play D&D because Pathfinder is the devil. Well, your mom's cookies suck, so fuck that. Yeah, that's right. You bring your mom into my firing range, I'll shoot her down. I've got no fucking shame. So anyway, Hobgoblin heritages. Dag, chill. No. Never! Yeah, that's what everyone says. Oh, Dag, he's such a chill fucking guy. Hey, Dag, there's a fucking monitor lizard in the garage. Oh, no worries. He looks fucking chill. Alright. So... Okay. So, we have the Hobgoblin heritages. So, the different types of Hobgoblins. We have the Elfbane Hobgoblin. Elfbane Hobgoblins, yada yada yada. They used to be used as an army against the elves. The elves ultimately freed the hobgoblins. Some hobgoblins retain their ancestries or resistance to magic, which they refer to as elf magic. Okay, so Okay. I like that they kept this. I don't like the origin of the lore, for example, because I get that they were created to battle elves and thus they were more resistant to magic. But Elfbane hobgoblins implies a lot, you know. Like, you could be a Magic Bane hobgoblin or a Sage Bane hobgoblin or a, you know what I mean? To say that it's an Elfbane hobgoblin and to literally specifically say you gain resist elf magic, implies very strongly to the layman that this will only work on elves. That's my only concern, is that it implies it'll only work on elves. It doesn't. It works on everything, which is good, because that's how magic reactions and, you know, like, sort of magic resistances and stuff should work. But, you know, like, I think that, you know, like, I think the origin story is good. I think they should have renamed it, though. Because, you know, in itself, it says that it's a long ancient past. So, you know, things change. Things adapt. Runt Boss Hobgoblin. You come from a long line of hobgoblins who command goblins. The Runt Boss. I love that. That's amazing. Goblin Solution. You gain the group coercion feat, and if you successfully intimidate to coerce a goblin, you get a critical success. Yes! Oh my god. You boss around goblins. That's fucking hilarious. Fucking Runt Boss. I wonder if they're gonna do something like the leadership feat. That would be amazing, where you could actually have like like sort of PC leveled companions, and have a Runt Boss Hobgoblin with a Goblin Squire or something. That'd be a lot of fun. Short Shanks Hobgoblin. You have a long torso and broader shoulders than most hobgoblins, making your legs seem short by comparison. This gives you a strong martial core and low center of gravity. You gain the ride feat, and additionally, you're not off guard when you climb. Nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Smoke Worker. Your family has been alchemists and engineers, from scientists for generations. Projects that bring smoke will fire the battlefield. You gain fire resistance equal to half your level. Nice. Nice. You automatically succeed at DC 5 check to gain concealed creatures if that creature is concealed only by smoke. Nice. That's cool. That's really cool. I want to be a dwarf when I grow down. Any advice? Yes. Drink and drink a lot. Like, seriously, forget alcohol poisoning. It doesn't exist. Yeah. Done. War March Hobgoblin. Ugh. Keep scrolling. War March Hobgoblin. You come from a line of wandering mercenaries, constantly on the march, scavenging for food. If you fail but don't critically fail to subsist in the wilderness, you can keep yourself well fed with poor meals when exploring. You hustle twice as long. Okay, that's cool. I like that. PSA, don't do what that does. Yeah, that's basically it. Lots of hobgoblins accusing others of being elf descendants just due to magic would work well in Gatewalkers. Yeah, that's true. Because Gatewalkers, the Kanmeepo, the Slim, and all of them have a very, very strong aversion to elves as well. So yeah, that makes sense if there was a connection too. Good spotting. Love that. Warren bred hobgoblins. Your ancestors lived underground. Better for that. Yada yada yada. While you're underground, and your target opponent is concealed from you or hidden. DC 3. DC of a flat check to 3 for a concealed check, or a 9 for a hidden one. Wow. Okay, that's really good. In addition, you roll a successful acrobatic to squeeze. You get a critical success instead. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Warren bred hobgoblins. Interesting. So a lot of like underground tunnel skills in that. That's pretty robust. I like that. Let's see. Attributes to Constitution, Intelligence makes sense. Flaws, Wisdom. Another Wisdom. Okay, fair enough. I'll give it. Dark Vision. Cool. Sweet. Nice. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, let's see what we get for their feet. Also true. Okay. Alchemical Scholar. Getting chemical crafting. You can do more feats and stuff. Cool. I can see why they left the Hobgoblin to put in this book, because of course there's so much involved with alchemy with the Hobgoblins. It makes perfect sense that they're going to be coming out with the Alchemist as well. So all of the stuff that you need to make a Hobgoblin Alchemist is now in this book, which I think is genius. Kentorian reinforcements, life energies, yada yada, protecting some melodies. When you successfully roll, when you roll success on disease or poison, you get a critical success instead. Okay, cool. Makes you a little bit hardier. Hobgoblin lore, athletics and crafting, good at Hobgoblin lore, good. Hobgoblin weapon familiarity, which constitutes composite longbows, short bows, glaives, longbows, short bows, yada yada yada, longswords. Okay, cool. So general basic military weapons, it looks like. I'm surprised it doesn't have shields or anything in there, which is interesting. Treat any of them as martial weapons. Okay, leech clip. You train to capture deserters or leeches. Make a melee strike with a weapon from the flail group. On a hit, the target takes a negative 10-foot speed. 15 on a critical hit. Penalty lasts for 1 round. Fires if the target has a land speed and depends on its legs' other targetable appendages. As with all limited speeds, this cannot reduce a creature's speed below 5 foot. Okay, interesting. Leech clip. So you can chase down people. So again, also good for the bounty hunter archetype, which comes in later on too. Remorseless lash. You're skilled at beating an enemy when their morale is already breaking shit. When you succeed a melee strike against a frightened enemy, that enemy can't reduce their frightened condition below 1 until the beginning of your next turn. Nice. Okay, so basically you can, with a lash, you can actually keep their frightened condition ongoing. The interesting thing about that is, even though it's called Remorseless Lash, you can actually technically use this with any weapon. You don't need to use it with a whip. In 1st edition Pathfinder, a lot of the Hobgoblin feats revolved around specific things that were using whips. So I do like the fact that they're still thematically like, hey, you know, whips. This is kind of where we're getting the idea from. But then saying, hey, don't feel constrained to have to do that. If you are beating someone to kind of keep them afraid and stuff like that, absolutely, you know, you could do that with any weapon, not just a whip. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Hey, Odd Bandicoot, good to see you. Man, that Runt boss is remorseless. Yeah. Hey, what's the difference between an echidna and a hobgoblin camp? On an echidna, the pricks are on the outside. Alright, I'm done. Sneaking. Stealth is an important tool. You can move 5 foot further when you sneak up to your speed. In addition, as long as you continue to sneak and succeed stealth checks, you do not become observed. Okay, cool. So yeah, basically, you know, sneaking around, doing the thing. Stone-faced. You've mastered the art of composure. You get a +1 save with the fear against things with a fear trait. +2 your will against intimidate and demoralize. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's cool. Just, you know, don't be afraid. Vigorous health, when you would gain the drained condition. Okay, that's very specific. But yes, DC 17, you don't get drained. Okay, nice. Level 5, agonizing rebuke. When you terrorize your enemies, you cause them painful mental distress. They take damage when you intimidate them. That's kind of cool. I like that. Expert drill sergeant. Yada yada. Instead of the bonuses. While exploring and you're leading your allies. Instead of getting a +2, you gain a +3 or +4 if in that skill. That's cool. So you're basically boosting up all of your stuff. Recognize ambush when you roll initiative. Oh, just as a free action, you draw a weapon anytime combat starts. That's really cool. That's freaking amazing. The Runt Sage. Unlike most of your kind who dismiss goblins as an embarrassment or expendable annoyances, you have studied the methodology behind their irresponsibility and incomprehensible action. You gain adopted ancestry and must select goblin as the feat chosen. Interesting. Okay, so that is so I think that is going to allow you to expand your heritage stuff quite a bit, because I know goblins got quite a few things. Hey, is that the catchy cantrip team I see? Coming in with their raiding party of 19 folks. Guys, thank you so much for coming in and joining us. My name's Michael. I'm the Deadlesy Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here doing mostly Pathfinder. Today, we are not over at Careful Cantrip because it is Dave and Raina's anniversary. So they are off celebrating in high spirits, as they damn well should be. And instead, I am just chilling out here reading the new launched book, Pathfinder Player Core 2, which has now got a bunch of new options for our Pathfinder characters. And yeah, we're just reading through, and this is my first read through as well. So we're kind of reading, we're skimming, we're talking, we're just chilling. So all of that sort of stuff. How was your game? When you get back from your things, tell me how your game went. Tell us all the things, and can we get a shout out for our careful cantrip friends? Yoshigumba, dimensional door opened and a small round creature begins rolling in. It's a two-way takeover. Let the chaos begin. Mwahaha. Yes, indeed. I love that weapon. That is a really cool weapon. It has a very Aztecian feel to it, too. I like that. Using cheesy pickup lines on each other. Yeah, probably. Just let me check these out. Done. Sweet. Thank you, Schoolia, for the shout out. Twisty Tony adoption backstory. Yeah. I think. So yeah, a runt sage. I mean, this is just like a master of goblin, I guess, which is weird. Catchy, not careful, dag. Got case of mistaken identity. Hey, look, I said I'm not at Careful Cantrip today, which is where you would normally find me today, because it is Rainer and Dave's wedding. I welcomed Catchy Cantrip for joining us. I did everything right, Redial. Also, good to see you, buddy. War over a bonk. Yes, that's it, yeah. Bonk Wars. The Great Bonk War, as it was called. Yeah, I have... Look. Anyway. Let me keep reading. Okay, so level 9. What do we have? Cantorian Rejuvenation. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Once per day, you can recover 46 hit points. That's it? You just heal? For 2 actions? Just... Yeah, hey, my character's a barbarian. You know what you're gonna do? I'm good. Fucking... That's wild. Jesus. Okay, cool. Cantorian Rejuvenation. Once per day, just fucking heal. Okay, good on it. Yeah, suck it up and heal that shit. Yeah, it's like freaking... It's an ability my dad thought I had, you know what I mean? Like, when he tells me to fucking walk it off, you know? Like, just... Apparently, you can just walk that shit off. Alright, Fell Rider. You're trained with an animal companion. Your animal companion becomes trained in intimidation. Your companion will use... So, hold on. Prerequisite, you have to already have an animal companion. So, bear that in mind. With Fell Rider, you need to have an animal companion, then you get an ability for it. So, there you go. Cool. Pride in Arms is a reaction. An ally within 30 foot brings an enemy to 0 hit points. Shout of Triumph, you grant inspiration to an ally to fight on. Gives them temporary hit points equal to their constitution modifier. Nice! That's pretty cool. So you're like, yeah! And then they go, yeah! 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 That's cool. And then, you know, now they've got extra hit points. That's cool. Wait, so your horse can scare people? Yes! Yep. Oh no, your horse can aid you in scaring people. And yes, your horse can scare people if it wanted to. There you go. Hey, Mozzarella, thank you so much for joining the crypt. Welcome in, you bloody beautiful legend, you. Alright. Squad tactics. You're adept at working with your allies. When you surround an enemy and the enemy is in reach of you and at least 2 of your allies, that enemy is off guard. Hold on. You're adept at working with your allies to surround an enemy. If an enemy is within reach of you and at least 2 of your allies, that enemy is off guard to you. Interesting. So traditionally you would need to flank with your opponent, with your ally, in order to get that bonus. So now it seems like if there are 3 people, no one needs to be flanking, as long as they're in proximity. So that's interesting. I mean, for level 9 feat, I think that's a little lackluster. I think it would have been better if it was just, you know, 1 person. That should be fine, but, you know, it is what it is. Always happy to chat with players. Like having a happy little chat with players afterwards. You know what? I would too. But most of my games either end when I have to like get ready to start my next game or my next work, or at the end of sessions. But I hope that, you know, I admire that, and I would definitely recommend for folks, make sure you have a decompress with your players when you can. You know, not just because you need it, but just because it's fun. It's a good way to, you know, keep morale at a table. Good practice. Khan is not innocent. No one listened to him. No one listened. Okay. 13th level. Can't fall here. Reaction once per day. An adjacent and willing ally would be reduced to 0 but not killed. You physically help them stand and encourage them to push through the pain against dire odds. Your ally doesn't fall unconscious and remains on 1 hit point. The ally also gains temporary hit points equal to your level that lasts for 1 minute. That's pretty freaking dope. See, compare that to squad tactics. Yeah, okay. Fine, I'll just, freaking not die today, I guess. Freaking won't die today. That's it. It's like when they would go down, when they're about to go down but not be killed, you just be like, yep, get back up here, you. You ain't done yet. You pick up your sword, you have another crack at him. You'll die when I tell you to, son. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. I like that. War conditioning. You have extensive training in remote environments that allow you to move through areas. You get a climb speed or a swim speed. Okay, cool. That's good. I like that. 17. Cantorian restoration again. Once per day, a living creature would die within 60 foot of you. You can prevent them from dying. 68 plus your constitution modifier. Yep. Just, yeah, anything that doesn't work, it doesn't work on things with remains. There you go. That's it. You just, ba-da-da-da. I am barbarian. Don't worry. Here. Now wound is better. Fucking. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. These guys are freaking. I mean, I could easily feel like these guys are like related to trolls, the way they heal with this. No tag on my watch. On the other cantrips, we have cookies. That's true. That's true. I don't have cookies. Sad. But we do call our fans daggers now. That's a new thing. All the dag fans. The dag fam is now daggers. So these guys need at least 3 weeks prior rest. It seems like there's just no killing these guys. That's what it feels like. It just feels like, like these guys just don't go down. Oksana and Rune Tactics, PF2 Hobgoblins. Yes, that's true. That's true. Dag just hocked through the wound. Yes, because I watched The Simpsons. And you gotta spit on that thing. You want to use intimidation? Fine, I dare you otherwise. That's true. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think a whole group of hobgoblins in the earlier editions, I wouldn't have worried. I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. Could you imagine an all fucking hobgoblin table, just no one going down, everyone just bouncing themselves back up, then fucking rejuvenating and healing, and then just kicking their ass? You wouldn't need a healer in that group. You'd have 5 barbarians, and you wouldn't take them off full hit points. Fucking hell. It's mad. It's mad. All right. Whew. Rallying cry. 2 actions once per day. You call out to your ally. All allies within 30 foot that can hear you gain number of temporary hit points equal to your fucking level. Because why the fuck not? These guys already not tough enough. Let's give them more. Okay, good. Thank fuck. We are done. I mean, admittedly, this is level 17. Admittedly, it is level 17. So you are pretty well and truly on by this stage. But, god freaking damn. I got into a talk at work about Huck Tour, the whole thing, because we were talking like, hey, huck us a, thing, or, like to throw or to chuck. It's like, hey, huck that over here. And then, one of our other coworkers who was like hip with the know was like, ew, do you know what that means? It's like, yeah, to chuck something. It's like, yeah, you're huck, like, yeah, you're hucking something. Like, that's it. And then, corrupted my poor, one of my poor bosses. And, the whole thing. He lost faith in humanity that day. Yep. Yep. Anyway, the Colo. Mac, would you? No, Cass, you leave Mac alone. I swear to God, if you do, I will find a way to kill Basil. You corrupt my poor little baby Mac, I will do it. I will fucking do it. Don't you tempt me. You leave my innocent baby alone. All right. Now. Not having it happen. Not on my watch. All right. Colo. Now, we were talking about Colo before. In front of my salad. Now. Colo have a... okay, so let's talk about the Knoll first. These are Knoll. Yes, we know this. These are Knoll. However, what I want to see is the differences between the Knoll and the Colo. I don't necessarily want to look at this one in a bubble. And normally I tell people when you are looking at Pathfinder material or when you're looking at new games, don't compare, don't look, don't make that thing. But because Remastered is specifically trying to peel away from that original source material of being the Gnolls, I want to know what's different. So Gnolls, I'm just going to have a quick look right now on Google for like the D&D Gnoll. And I'm going to read it out, and then I'm just going to like... And we're gonna make a rough comparison. Okay, so here we go. So I'm pulling up the entry on the Gnolls now. Okay, so a Gnoll. Gnolls are feral, hyena-headed humanoids that attack without warning, slaughter their victims, and devour their flesh. They have demonic origins, which trace back to a time from the demon lord Yenogul, who found his way to the material plane and ran amok. Packs of ordinary hyenas followed in his wake, scavenging the demon lord's kills. Those hyenas were then transformed into the first Gnolls, parading after Yenogul until he was banished back to the abyss. The Gnolls then scattered across the face of the world, a dire reminder of demonic powers. They are nomadic destroyers. They are dangerous because they strike at random, emerge from the wilderness, plunder, slaughter, and then move on. They attack like a plague of locusts, pillaging settlements and leaving little behind, razing buildings, gnawing corpses, befouling the lands. Gnolls choose the easy targets for their raids. Armored warriors hold up in fortified castles and will survive a rampaging no-hold unscathed, even as towns, villages, and farms and the surroundings are caught ablaze. Their people slaughtered and devoured. Gnolls rarely build permanent structures or anything of lasting value. They do not make weapons or armor and scavenge items from corpses of their fallen, stringing ears, teeth, scalps, and other trophies from their foes onto their patchwork armor. It's like that tradition still remains. Thirst for blood. No goodness or compassion lies in the heart of a Gnoll. Like demons, it lacks anything resembling a conscience and can't be taught or coerced to put aside its destructive tendencies. Gnolls' frenzied bloodlust make them an enemy to all, and when they lack a common foe, they fight among themselves. Even the most savage orcs avoid allying with Gnolls. So cool. So that is Gnolls in general, and I want us to keep that on one shelf and go, cool, now what did Pathfinder do with that to try and make it its own entity? That's what I want to see. So, cool. The Colo. Colos have a bad reputation as brutal raiders and demon worshippers. Many believe that Colos are witches, cannibals, and worse. The truth is more complex. Colo are eminently practical and pragmatic hunters and raiders. To them, honor is just a word for pointless risk. Any loss of a Colo affects not just the individual, but their packmates and kin as well. Wasting time on anything but victory, whether it's mercy or cruelty, is seen as a little shy of immoral. Colo are masters of ambushes, tactical feints, and psychological warfare. Equally misunderstood is the Colo practice of ancestor worship and endo-cannibalism. Colos consume their dead as a sign of reverence, holding a grand feast and transforming the bones into art or weapons. Colo extend this honor to respected foes, hoping to bring their enemies' cunning or strength to the clan. Interesting. Okay, let me just scroll up and read really quick. Why are we talking about Oreos? Now I want Oreos. Before that, that's true. That's true. I do know Cass's weaknesses. It's not hard. Hey, no worries. Look away by Bandicoot. Hope you're good. Okay, cool. I think I've gotten up there. In our defense, OGs be able to plus 5 minutes. Yes, just look. It's fair. What does a Colo with a tiefling heritage and the demonic blood feed look like? Oh man, probably be the closest thing to like a purebred Colo that one would actually be able to make, I think. Be right back. Teaching physics 7 and calculus 8 for a sec. Oh, cool. I guess. Have fun. Cass is full. We're announcing it on a weekly basis. Yes, you're right, OG. It is. It's entirely her fault for doing that. Okay. So let's start with some of the basics. First of all, in the D&D entry, it does say the barbarism, the cannibalism, all that sort of stuff. But there's no real justification from it besides demon was the birthplace of these creatures, and thus evil. In this, it seems as though that's not the case. They're not necessarily born from a demon's blood or anything like that. There's no alluding to this. But they find an amorality in pursuing anything other than absolute victory. The undercutting, the deviousness of their strategies, the psychological warfare. A lot of this stuff, I think, really stands to truth of, like, less about the good-evil alignment axis, which no longer exists in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, but now is entirely built upon the idea of edicts and anathemas, which is Pathfinder 2nd Edition's versions of the alignment stuff. So now the anathema is to needlessly or pointlessly risk yourself and your packmates. So if that's the case, well, yeah, stab someone when they don't expect it. Assure your victory by hunting down those who do not fight back. Absolutely. If that is your morality, that makes perfect sense. And the endocannibalism, the fact that they target specifically their respected enemies and themselves is a big point too. Because you'd look at them, and without knowing their culture, you would think that they are just violent murderers who kill people and adorn themselves with, bones and stuff like that. But actually, it's their own bones. It's not your bones, it's their bones. And if they are wearing the bones of a strong enemy, that's them being respectful. So I do like that they've given purpose to those original concepts and made those areas a little bit more fleshed out. They've done the world building, and it feels good here. Yeah, I knew I was going to like this. And I really do. Because I think evil should be evil. Absolutely. But I think evil should be an interpretation, not a definition. And that is what I love about this. It is an interpretation. Because Colo, it is evil, or it is amoral to risk yourself and to risk other people's lives. And think about that from a mental health perspective. How wild that, technically speaking, in a very, very fucked up way, these guys care more about your health and well-being. These guys care more about your health and well-being if you are part of their community than most communities in a fantasy adventure. You have constantly the wars between the classes, the different races, the different places and stuff like that. But these guys actually genuinely care about each and every one of the individuals in their group. And I love the fact that again, their interpretation from other people on the outside is how mad they are. Left YouTube to watch here. Hey, what's up, Tim? Good to see you. If you are watching on YouTube, by the way, YouTube is just the place where my stuff lives. I don't always get a chance to see the YouTube. I'm not even lying. I very rarely look at the YouTube chat. But hey, if you head over to the Twitch, then you can see me over there, and then you can chat and stuff. Yeah. But oh, there it is. But yeah, definitely like it. Okay, you might be physically demonstrative, hugging, punching, or licking your friends. Keep a bone from a favorite relative to ask for advice. Cool, like it. Others probably are intimidated by your size, teeth, and eerie laugh, and respect the brutal efficiency of your hunting style. Ooh, like that. Physical description. There they are. Society. Colo generally live in semi-nomadic clans of 10 to 20 family groups, containing between 100 to 200 members. They are ruled by a council of female Colo who are typically selected from the elders of each family. Bone keepers focus on tending to the wishes of the Colo ancestors and gods, and they take their names from the ancestral bones that festoon their clothings and home. Storytellers serve as teachers and sages and are expected to have an encyclopedic knowledge of clan history, regional lore, and anything else relevant to the clan. Newborn Colo are given a root name, typically that of a bone, plant, or animal, though never hyena, as this is considered narcissistic. As a Colo reaches a certain age or milestone in their life, they add descriptors to their name. So, Baobab, Jackal, Onyx, Elephant in Shadows, Red Thorn, Unbent Iron Reed, White Acacia, Wistful Tooth, Woodpecker. I like that. That's cool. That's really cool. Sweet. So again, very, very interesting structure of passing on the knowledge and stuff. Also matriarchal as well. That's kind of cool. I do like that there's this matriarchal vibe to it. But that's moral perspective in a nutshell. They are in the evil in the enemy's point of view. Yeah, absolutely, Redal. 100%. I mean, it's tribal instinct you see in real life. A lot of people care only about those in their tribe and to great extremes. Yeah, absolutely. Party mascot taking on form right there. Yeah, he could definitely be a good party mascot. It'd be a very interesting party mascot too, because like, like especially if you've got like somebody who you traditionally see as a mascot, like a goblin or a kobold in the group. And it's like, oh look, it's the party mascot. Oh, I'm not the mascot. He's the mascot. Shit. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Okay. Beliefs. Colos have an unsentimental, matter-of-fact approach to life and prioritize the results over methods. They're usually loyal and generous to the people, to their people, and ruthless towards outsiders. Whether this behavior is considered acceptable varies depending on who they view as their people. Many Colo pay homage to Lamashtu. Lamashtu is the Pathfinder god of monsters. Oh man, I forgot the whole thing. It's monsters. She's the mother of monsters. She's basically evil, chaos, demons, all that sort of stuff. Both as the originator of their people and guide in a chaotic world. However, some Colo often give homage to Calistria, god of betrayal and tricks and stuff, and Shaylin, god of art. Nethys is the patron of the Bone Keepers, so the god of magic. Interesting. So that's a lot of really interesting stuff there. Yeah. Don't want bone hugs from Colo? No? Bone hugs? Big bone hugs? Should totally give big bone hug. Would make for a good mascot though. Every time you heat a stronger enemy, you just give it bones to wear. It's true. Alright, Colo heritages. These are the different types. We have the Ant Colo. Sharp features, big ears, about 3 foot tall. So that's actually small. Actually, how big are they? They're medium normally, so these are small. Your size is small. You get a +1 circumstance to deception. Okay, cool. So just a tiny version of Colo. Called an Ant Colo. Cave Colo. Yada yada yada. Your eyes have dark vision instead of low light vision. Cool, that makes sense. Dog Colo. Nimble-bodied Colo with prehistoric, almost dog-like build. You typically move like a quadruped. You have a 30-foot move speed. You run on all fours. Okay, interesting. So a 4-legged version. That's interesting. I do like that. Oh, sorry. Go back. Okay, the Great Colo. They're imposing and powerful. You get 10 hit points from your ancestry instead of 8. Gain +1 to athletics and shove. You're just physically more imposing. Okay, cool. I dig that. I feel like that's going to be a very popular one, the Great Colo. The Sweet Breath Colo. You have an oddly pleasant breath, which you can use to entrance your prey. You train in diplomacy. The circumstance runs for making impressions to those who can smell your breath. Interesting. I don't know what to feel about that. Just you've got like, you know, good at making out. What's with the breath thing? All right, Winter Colo. So you've got a winter coat. Makes sense. Witch Colo. Yada yada yada. You can cast Figment as a spell. You get occult spells that can create diversions and stuff. Okay, cool. So Witch Colo, yeah, makes sense. They have a bite attack and they have low light vision. That makes sense. They have strength and intelligence as their attribute boost and wisdom as their flaw. See, I would have gone for the charisma as their flaw, but maybe that's just me. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look. First level, Ask the Bones. Free action, once per day. You keep the bones of an ancestral friend to call upon. Attempt to recall knowledge. The bone belongs to a person particularly knowledgeable about the subject. You get a bonus. Nice. So you actually, so that whole thing about keeping a bone of your ancestor actually has a practical mechanical effect as well. That's cool. It's Colo Klein's obsession. For hyenas. That's it. Oh man, could you imagine that? That'd be such a racket. The Colo's just like 12 gold. Freaking making mint. Breathing money. Alright. Crunch. Bigger jaws. Cool. Hyena family. Hyenas serve Colos as pets and trackers. You gain a familiar. Hey, that's a cool one. You actually do just gain a familiar. That's rad. Colo lore, so you know about Colos, yada yada yada, and you gain survival and stealth. Colo weapon familiarity. We have the flail, the Kopesh, the Mambele, and the war flail. What is a Mambele? Mambele. Mambele, Mambele. Mambele is an African sword. Okay, so it's an African sword. How do I even describe this? It has a, it's kind of like a sickle sword almost. With a, it's a sickle sword with a second set of blades that sort of sit at the top. So it almost looks like, an axe and a pick. I want to share a picture. Let me share a picture. Hold on. There you go. This is a Mambele. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. Cool. Which for me does speak of like African inspiration for some stuff, which makes sense because hyenas, Africa. Okay, Pack Hunter. You were taught how to hunt as part of a pack. You get +2 circumstance bonuses to aid your allies. Nice. Cool. Good. Looks hard to wield. Depends on what you use it for. Yeah. Sensitive nose. Your large black nose isn't for show. You can pick up on the faintest sense. You get an imprecise scent range of 30 foot. You can only take this feat at level 1. So that's you cannot retrain this feat. Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know. It's what you get when you can't decide between a sword, a dagger, and an axe, and you make them all in one. Yeah, it's true. It's like, how do I make a weapon more deadly? I will staple 8 different weapons into this one super weapon. I don't even remember what that was from. There was an old movie that had a guy who just like duct taped a bunch of death weapons. Oh, it was From Beijing with Love. It's a Stephen He Chinese comedy action film. And yeah, he just duct taped a bunch of weapons to make a death weapon. It was weird. Alright, level 5. Absorb strength once per hour. You're adjacent to an enemy corpse who's been dead for no longer than a minute. Consume a piece of the enemy, absorbing the strength, gaining temporary hit points to the enemy's level. Alright, mechanical cannibalism. I like it. It's actually really cool. I'm actually really loving this. Distant cackle. Let's see. You gain ventriloquism. Okay, that's good. Pack stalker. Ambush is a trimode. You gain terrain stalker feat and extend its effects to a single ally so long as they remain within 10 foot of you. If you have master and stealth, you can affect 2 allies, and legendary, you can affect 4 allies. Nice. Love that. Rapid sprint. You run on all fours, can stride 3 times with 2 actions. Nice. That's really cool. Lots of once per hour stuff. Typical in Pathfinder. I'd say, okay, so yes and no. Once per day, once per hour is pretty common. But most of the time things use what's called focus. Now, focus is a series of points that go into a small pool, and after a 10-minute rest, you restore that point, and you can expand on how many points you have in that pool, yada, yada, yada. So normally things use focus, and you don't see too much of the once per hour, once per day stuff. But I think since the remastery, they've started leaning a little bit more on the once per day, once per hour stuff again. Okay. Affliction resistance. Gain bonuses to disease and poison, making you more robust. That's quite nice. Left hand blood. Left hand blood. It says that the flesh of the right side of the hyena can heal diseases, but that the flesh of the left side is deadly and poisonous. You deal a slashing damage to yourself to poison a weapon you are holding. If you hit with a weapon and deal damage, the target also takes persistent poison damage. Whoa! What do you mean it is said? Fuck you! It actually is legitimately happening. It is said. Some say that this exact thing that I am now giving you the mechanics for. Fugu Hyena. Yeah, it's poison. Yeah, straight up. Just Just you're made of poison. Cool. Oh, and then there's right hand blood. Oh, okay. That's rad. No, wait, where's my thing? Come back. There we go. Left hand blood. Right hand blood. Cool. Okay. I was kind of confused with the first bit. It is said that the flesh on the right side of the Hina can heal diseases, but that the flesh on the left is deadly and poisonous. You can deal 1 slashing damage to feed someone your blood from your right side, to administer first aid, or take 2d8 damage to use treat wounds or treat diseases. In either case, you don't need the healer's toolkit and you get a +1 item bonus. So there you go. I'm definitely getting ideas for villains. Oh my god, you have no idea. And that could be such like a round robin thing too. So here's the thing. They actively cannibalize their ancestors. Does that mean they only eat the right side? Or do they have a special method that they have to prepare and cook their ancestors to be fit for consumption? Ah, my mind reels. No, this isn't a baby kobold. This would be an ant kobold. Colo, remember? They had the ant Colo. Okay, ambush hunters. Yada yada yada. You can perform the scout activity as well as the avoid notice. Nice. Breath like honey. The smell of honey and savory things. Your circumstance checks to make an impression. Yada yada yada. Increased by +2. In addition, you can cast Enthrall. Grandmother's wisdom. You carry the bones of your ancestors. You can ask them for counsel. Use augury twice per day. Nice, that's good. Laughing Colo. Master intimidation. Your sinister giggle is a warning and a threat. You gain battle cry. Nice. You don't take the penalty when you attempt to demoralize for those who don't understand your language. Cool, that's a good one. Same like with the cat growl thing. Ancestor rage. You transform into an enormous, otherwise hyena in animal form. That's cool. All right. Bonekeeper's Bane. When an enemy starts adjacent to you, it must attempt a will save against your class DC. Otherwise, it takes penalties to its attack. Skill 6 for as long as it remains adjacent to you. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's nice. A decent defense, kind of anti-buff aura. That's kind of cool. Yeah, my right or left? Confusingly dangerous. Would be. Maybe the blood does both. The superstition does left first right. It's true. It could be a mental thing. It could be just purely psychological. That's interesting. Okay. First strike, first to fall. Whenever you successfully strike a creature that has not acted in the first round of combat, the creature is off guard until the end of your next turn. If the creature is reduced to 0 before the end of your next turn, you and your allies within 30 foot become quickened until the end of your next turn. You can only use the second action to step, stride, or strike. Jesus. Jesus! Imagine if you had a bunch of people like that. That's so cool. So basically, if you initiate combat and start it off before they act and knock them out, you make you and all allies within 30 foot get quickened, which means you get an extra action in the round, which means you have 4 actions in the round. Jeez. If you had a group of them, that's nuts. That's mad. Impaling Bones. Once per day, you can cast Impaling Spike. But the spike is made of bone instead of cold iron. Cool, that's cool. So, whook. Legendary Laugh. Demoralize creatures up to 60 foot away. Additionally, anyone demoralized takes mental damage. Nice, that's pretty good. Maybe that's how they teach Generation Blood to effect. So you learn to focus on your left side for poison, right side for healing. Oh, that could be cool. That might make sense. It also explains why you have to take it as you go up in level. So maybe not everyone has that. Hey, no worries, Jen. Sleep well, my friend. I hope you have a very restful sleep. All right. Kobolds. Heck yeah, kobolds. I will daunt you a second time. Bear with me for 2 seconds. Who is sending me messages? Done and done. Cool. All right. Kobolds. Now, we mentioned this before. Kobolds, according to the brief read, said that based on their beliefs, their appearance changes. And now they've stepped a little bit away from the dragon stuff, which is what I think Australis said earlier on as well. So I'm interested to see what they've done here. This could be good, this could be bad. But, you know, let's find out what they've done. Every kobold instinctively understands the importance of power. And many are inclined to venerate those who have it, whether they be mighty dragons, cruel fiends, imperious fae, or even ancient artifacts. Kobolds seek out these alliances in a sense of pragmatism. After all, who would dare bully a kobold who served under an ancient dragon? But also because kobold eggs incubate near such loci of power, take on their physical traits and sometimes abilities, similar to those of the warrens of the benefactor. On their own, kobolds are ingenious crafters and devoted allies, but outsiders who trespass on their territory find them to be inspired skirmishers, clever ambushes. However, these reptilian opportunists prove happy to cooperate with other humanoids when it's to their benefit, combining caution and cunning to make their fortunes in a wider world. If you want a character with deadly cunning who bears the mark of a powerful benefactor, you should play a kobold. You might analyze your surroundings, always looking for ambushes, advantageous terrains, and escape routes. Naturally observe, adopt, and respect groups' dynamics, whether as leader, subordinate, or equal. While others probably assume that you are cowardly and won't stick around in the face of danger, appreciate your ingenuity and resourcefulness, especially when it comes to building defenses. Cool. Alright, so, I mean, it doesn't really lean too far away from regular kobolds. I like this idea of the egg being, like, kind of altered or in some way, shape, or form, you know, evolving based on its proximity to a higher power. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. But it makes me wonder, A, what a kobold is in a vacuum. Is it just a small lizard? B, what happens if you put it in something that is, like, what would you consider to be a great power? Like a lich. You put a kobold egg next to a lich. Is it going to give birth to an undead kobold? Lichbold, you know, what happens? I'm very interested. All right, let's read the physical descriptions. They're short, 3 foot tall reptilian humanoids with slender bodies, long tails, and stout homes. Their features often reflect the nature of their warren's benefactors, such as vestigial draconic wings, glowing crystalline growths. The differences set the warren apart, although kobolds are generally easily recognizable as such. Kobolds mature, yada yada yada. Okay, so you know, maybe they'll yeah, so maybe they like would have like deep eyes, you know, like they're like they would have like deep sockets, maybe more skeletal features if they were with a lich or something. So yeah, that could be, oh man, that'd be interesting. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Put a bunch of kobold eggs in a holy temple. Yeah, that's it. Paladin kobold. What happens if a party finds a kobold egg and carries it around with the adventurers? Yeah, that's it. True enough. Kobolds have an ingrained cautiousness that keeps them alive. They're secretive or subservient around powerful creatures to avoid becoming victims. This meekness fades once kobolds secure either a formidable benefactor like a dragon or a potent source of supernatural power like an artifact or sorceress leader. Kobold societies regularly adopt laws and cultural norms inspired by their benefactor's personality. However, kobolds are infamous for sensing proverbial sinking ships, and once the source of their power fails or seems doomed, their morale breaks swiftly. A young kobold is given a name, rarely more than a syllable or two. However, as they age and achieve status and accomplish greater deeds, they may add more syllables to their names. Kobolds rarely have surnames, except in an effort to better fit into a community, in which case they typically adopt the surname of an inspiring figure in that group. That's cool. Beliefs. All but the most iconoclastic kobolds have a natural respect for hierarchy and rules, relying on their ancestral social strategies for survival. Organized religion feels natural for most kobolds. They're often drawn to deities relating to their benefactors, such as Asmodeus if the benefactor is a devil, or dragon deities like Aspsu or Dahak if the benefactor is a dragon. Kobolds also often find themselves drawn to cults, particularly those with powerful magical creatures as figureheads. Popular edicts are to find your place in the power structure, taking pride in your allies' strengths or wits, and your popular anathemas are facing threats alone or throwing caution to the wind. Okay. Interesting. So, it's still a little vague for my liking. A little vague for my liking in terms of what changes, really. But it's not bad. Definitely not bad. Whoop. Let me grow a little bit. Wow. There we go. Okay. It takes no to convince a deck to give me a kobold. Maybe. Fun idea. Give a party each a kobold egg to carry around like a Tamagotchi. Have it evolve based on what they look like for an adventure. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Okay. Kobold heritages. The Cavern Stalker Kobold. Hatch in a warren, narrow tunnel, blah, 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 blah. They have quick climb. They roll a 6 practice, they get to squeeze. So yeah, climbing, squeezing, bunch of cool stuff there. Makes sense. Hashtag Nautico. Yeah, it seems like it does seem like that, OG, sure. Dragon Scale Kobold. Thanks to your association with the dragon, yada yada yada. Gain 10 hit points from your ancestors instead of 6. Wow, that's a big leap. And bonus saves against breath weapons, sleep, and effects that make you paralyzed. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm starting to see that the heritages seem to be more where this flavor seems to be going through. Elemental Heart. When you hatched, you imprinted on a creature that's strongly associated with one of the elemental planes, such as an elemental or gene. Choose air, earth, fire, metal, water, or wood. Gain resistance equal to half your level of the damage type associated with those things. Cold for air, electricity for earth, fire for fire, sonic for metal, acid for water, and poison for earth. Wood, sorry. Yeah. Okay, cool. Spellhorn Kobold. Since hatching, the vicinity of powerful source of magic traces through your bones. You choose a common cantrip from the spell list. Yep, cool. Sweet. Strongjaw Kobold. Nom nom nom. You have a bite attack. Tunnel Flood Kobold. You gain a swim speed. Venom Tail Kobold. You gain the Tail Toxin. When you're wielding a piercing or slashing weapon, you apply your tail's venom and hit them for damage. Nice. Okay, so you got poison there. So, so cool. It does look like that's where the heritages come in. So I would say that depending on, like your table, if you were going to like flavor a kobold to have like let's say the lich, we'll go back to the lich, then I would say you would need to come up with a custom kobold heritage for whichever powerful entity or creature or source or whatever happens to be, and then use that as your benchmark. Let's see. They are good with dexterity, good with charisma, bad with con. Makes sense. They also have dark vision. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Ancestry feats. Okay, we're gonna zoom through these ones just because we have a lot to cover. We're only on page 22. So, cringe. Creatures strike against you. They take penalties to their damage. Yep, so that's cool. Dragon's Presence. You get a fear aura. Nope, you get to... Okay, hold on. So you are more affected by fear auras, plus you also get bonuses to your demoralized. Kobold lore, you get thievery and stealth plus your lore. Weapon familiarity, you get great pick, light pick, regular pick. They use picks for some reason. Scamper, you stride with an extra bonus to your move speed, which is really good. Snare setting, you make traps and you can make crafting, yada yada. Cool. That seems pretty straightforward for some stuff. I think the cringe is really good and the scamper is really good. 5th level, ally shelter. Use an adjacent ally saving throw instead of your own. That's a nice one. Grovel. We are worms, worthless worms. Convince your foe you're less of a threat. Use a feint maneuver instead of your melee reach. Okay, cool. So that's a 30-foot feint attack. Nice. Love that. Snare Genius. Snares take normally a minute to craft. You can now craft them in 3 actions. That is super powerful, especially if you are a trap smith. That is super good. I do really like that. Winglets. Not suitable for full flight, but can help you with your powerful leaps. So that's cool. You can little flap your tiny wings and go a little bit further. Between scales, let's see. When you strike an off-guard creature, you gain the Backstabber trait. Nice. Briar Battler, you can take cover. Even if the feature wouldn't ordinarily be large enough for cover, that's cool. Close quarters, you can end your movement in the same square as a smaller ally. Nice. Evolved Spellhorn, your inborn arcane power. Okay, you gain some spells, that's nice. Shrieking, deals 10-foot emanation of sonic damage, that's cool. Winglet Flight, you now have a fly speed of 20 foot, so that's cool. And you can only use it once per round. So you do have to end your turn. So if you're flying, you do have to end your turn on the ground each time. Resplendent Spellhorn. Okay, get more spells. Tumbling Diversion. You can attempt to tumble through the person's space, then create a diversion to give them penalties. Vicious Snares. You deal extra damage with your snares. That's cool. Benefactor's Master. Majesty. Immediately make a flat check to remove each type of persistent damage you have. That's cool. Interesting. Player Core 2. Sorry. Interesting. So they only have one 17th level master ability. That's an interesting choice. It's not really a choice at that point. So you have to take this at level 17. Interesting. Alright. The Lizardfolk. Bear with me. I'm just going to go quickly to the bathroom, and then I will return, and we will continue. Because we still have, like, what? The Lizardfolk, the Ratfolk, the Tangu, and the Tripkey to do. And then we'll do the versatile heritages. Then I'll probably queue up a second... I'll queue up a second one for... what do you call it? I'll queue up another stream for the classes and stuff. Alright, I'll be right back. Enjoy the about to start screen till I return. Alrighty then, I will return by pushing this button. Boop. Here I am. Hello. Yes, it's me. Okay, so, welcome back. All the innocent people. Okay. So, alright, well, Cass is gone. I will say goodnight to Cass. Good night, Cass. Bye. Okay. What are we doing? Lizardfolk. Right, let's talk Lizardfolks. I've always liked Lizardfolks. I do. More dragon than lizard. No, that's iguana. That's definitely an iguana. For sure. One thing I like about Lizardfolks is the fact that they don't ever specify what type of lizard. So you can have crocodiles, you can have iguanas, you can have monitor lizards, you can have frillneck lizards. One of the characters I was originally going to play for Ghosts of Saltmarsh way back when I did that was actually going to be a frillneck lizard Australian character. So whenever he got spooked, he was like, ah! You know, and, you know, that was going to be him. So, yeah, I never got to playing that character, though. Maybe I'll save him for another day. All right, let's talk Lizardfolk. Lizardfolk are consummate survivors, heirs to empires considered ancient even by the elves. Lizardfolks move through societies of other humanoids with steely reserve of born predators. They have well-deserved reputations as outstanding rangers and unsentimental fighters. Though Lizardfolk have adapted to many different environments, many of them still prefer to remain near bodies of water, using their abilities to hold their breath to their advantage. As a result, they usually prefer equipment that isn't easily damaged by moisture, ensuring leather and metal for gears made of stone, ivory, glass, and bone. Cool, makes sense. Perfect sense. Still want the monitor lizard from the garage. Well, we can't have him. He has to go live in his own place. He doesn't need to live in my neighborhood. You might hold people's history in high regard and look to the past for solutions to present problems, and strive to adapt perfectly to your environment while also keeping your culture and traditions intact. Others probably assume that you're beholden to traditions and ancient knowledge, and see you as a cold-blooded and callous due to your subdued physical reactions. Interesting. So there seems to be a stoicism about the cold-blooded Lizardfolk, leaning into the cold-blooded nature of the characters. I kind of like that. Now, traditionally, Lizardfolk have been considered to be like quite xenophobic, so I like the fact that they're kind of now including them into the culture, saying that, you know, like, they can go to other places, they do engage in other cultures, but they try to keep things close to the chest. They try to keep their traditions. Because that way you're not losing that flavor, but at the same time making it a lot less awkward for people who want to play Lizardfolks to go out adventuring as Lizardfolk. Lizardfolks among themselves, known among themselves as Iruxis. Lizardfolk are raised communally from the moment they break from their shells. They have an oral tradition stretching back thousands of years, brought to life through epic poems, evocative carvings, and ancestral rites performed among the fields of fossilized bones. Lizardfolks are passionate astrologers with one eye to the future. If they seem slow to act, it is because their long history has taught them the value of patience. True Iruxi settlements are often overlooked as they are partially or mostly submerged in water. Lizardfolk bones often adorn the walls, as many Lizardfolk believe these remains can be animated by ancestral spirits when the residents are in danger. Lizardfolk's names are particularly chosen by the clan's astrologers in accordance to omens which the star signs send when an Iruxi hatches. Cool. Ramazo reads this is full Jurassic size. It's you who are living in their neighborhood. That's kind of true. Mao, kitten. She stopped meowing. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but she was just sitting there howling. She's not in pain or anything. She just wants attention. Beliefs. Most Iruxis are unconcerned with heavy questions of morality and focus their efforts on local level. Iruxi religion plays a large role in their culture, but heavily practical way, blending animalism and ancestral worship with druidic rites of the gods. Only Gosray is commonly revered. Okay. Popular edicts. Keeping the memory of the past alive and waiting for your prey. Adapt to your plans to fit your environment. And your popular anathema is to defy the will of the stars. Ooh, I love that. Attention required. No, she doesn't require attention. She's fine. She's probably testing me out to see if she can break into the bin. Juno! Juno! Anyway. Lizardfolk heritages! Can't jump on desk. Maybe. Lizardfolk heritage. Cliff scale lizardfolk. For gripping and climbing. They have combat climber as a bonus feat. And they go up one category if they succeed in climb checks. Nice. Cloud leapers. Body is a light with flaps of skins that catch air. So it's like those gliding lizards. That's kind of cool. As long as you can act and have enough room, you can open the flaps and just fold or take damage. You can slow fall enough to avoid taking damage. Nice. That's cool. So yeah, you just don't take damage from falls. That's rad. Frilled lizard folk. Fuck yeah. Let's go. You can flare your frilled neck and dorsal spines to demoralize your foes. When you do, you lose the auditory trait and get visual traits. You don't have penalty to demoralize. Yada yada. Threatening approach. You stride to be adjacent to your foe and demoralize that foe. If you succeed, the foe is frightened 2 instead of 1. Yes. It's fucking I don't know if you guys have ever seen a frilled neck lizard like charging people. It's fucking hilarious. Especially how big they are. They're so tiny. They're so small. Alright, Sandstrider lizardfolk. Thick scales help you in the sun. You gain fire resistance equal to half your level. Environmental heat, 1 step less extreme for you. Nice. Cool. Love that. It's like Jurassic Park. A little bit. Reverse Jurassic Park. Unseen lizardfolk. Oh, chameleons! You can change the skin to blend with surroundings. Minor shift, single action. Yeah. When you're in an area with coloration similar. Gain a bonus to stealth checks. Nice. That's cool. I mean, it's cool. Makes sense. I don't know. I wish there was a little more chameleon-y. You know, like your eyes were like that rotary thing or whatever. I don't know. Wetlander. You have 15-foot swim speed, Wetlander. Woodstalker. You can move through the woods, yada yada yada. You gain terrain stalking as a feat, trained in stealth, and you must choose a type of underbrush for your chosen terrain. Cool. So, good at tracking, good at nature, good at stuff. Let's see. Strength, wisdom are their bonuses. Intelligence is their flaw. Makes sense. We then have claws, neat, and aquatic adaptation. Nice. Although, if they've got claws, I would have thought they would have a bite. But maybe it's because the other ones, like the Colo and stuff, also have had bites as well. So maybe that's it. That could potentially be the thing. Unless they have them here. No. I checked. Alright, bone magic. Simple primal spell, yada yada yada. Done. Iruxi armaments. Here we go. Choose one of the following options. You get claws, you get fangs, you get tail. Nice. There we go. 5th level, and you special. You can take the feat multiple times, choosing a different one for each. Nice. Cool. So there you go. So yeah, you could. So I mean, you could get fangs. I don't know if you could poison them, but oh yeah, there we go. Envenomed fangs. There we go. You absolutely could. You do an infectious bite. See, again, this is one of the things that make me love Pathfinder freaking amazing. It is one of those things that you like anything you can imagine, you can have options, which is super freaking cool. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Hello, yes. I am streaming. But I am alive. Cool. Alright, then we have Lizardfolk lore, which of course gives us our nature and occultism, as well as the lore about Lizardfolk. Marsh Runner, if we have a swim speed, we can ignore difficult terrain by swamps and quicksand. That's really cool. Honestly, it's one of those things that I want to figure out, like how to actually manipulate terrain so that when you are in the midst of battle, you can use that kind of like swampy, muggy stuff to like smash people down into the ground and skitter around and sort of use your tail and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Pathogenic hatchling. You hatch from an unfertilized egg during hard times. For your people, biological copy of your mother. You gain a bonus to save versus disease. If you roll a bonus to disease, you take damage only every 2 hours from thirst every day. What? You take damage only every 2 hours from thirst and 2 hours from starvation. So yeah, okay, cool. You've just got more endurance, basically. Reptile speaker. You can hear the sounds of reptiles as a language. Question and receive answers counts as speak with animals. Nice. That's actually really cool. 5th level, envenomed fangs. You deal poison damage with your fangs. Flexible tail. You can perform simple interact actions with your tail. Nice. Gecko grip. You have a climb speed. No. You get combat climber. But how does that stack with? You get combat climber. Getting your hands free. No, it's the if you have the there you go. If you have the cliff scale Lizardfolk heritage, you instead gain a climb speed. It's cool. So you either gain cliff scale heritage or that. Okay, cool. Shed tail. If you are grabbed, shed a portion of your tail to escape. You stop being grabbed. It's once per. It takes 1 day for your tail to fully grow back. Until then, you cannot use your tail for unarmed strikes. Makes sense. That's hilarious. So you can literally drop your tail off. I fucking love it. Swift swimmer. You gain a bonus to your swim speed. Cool. Dangle. You can hang from your tail as a suitable anchor point. That's cool. Love that. Honed claws. You do bleed damage with your claws. Nice. Terrain advantage. People are called off guard in difficult terrain against you. That's cool. Bone investiture. 13th level. You gain a spiritual dinosaur bone. Become one of your huge dinosaurs. You gain dinosaur form. You can shapeshift into a dinosaur. Where's Laura? Someone get Laura. Laura Bones! I can turn my character into a dinosaur at level 13. He doesn't need to be any class, he can do it. Hell yeah. Alright. Irixie Spirit Spike. Channel Spirit Energy, Unarmed Strike, Quiet Lizardfolk, yada yada. Ghost Touch. Nice. The Ghost Touch weapons. Sweet. Primal Rampage. Gain unfettered movement and mountain resilience. Cool. Fossil Rider. Using your ancestors' bones, you manifest spirits around their fossilized form. You can mask terror on yourself as an innate spell, and when you do, you appear as a skeletal Lizardfolk ancestor, twisted in a way that inspires the deepest fears of those who observe you. So I think that turns you into like I think Lizardfolk were the descendants of dinosaurs. So that's pretty rad. Scion transformation. You go into hibernation for 24 hours and perform a ritual dedicated to your ancestors, undergoing a one-time metamorphosis. You permanently gain the effect of enlarge, maximize your hit points by your level. Ritual transforms most of your gear and the appropriate size in your body. Yada yada. Oh, straight up, just get fucking bigger. Permanent enlarge. Okay, I dig it. Okay, Lizardfolk, I was worried weren't gonna have too much about it. But, I think the stronger ties to the dinosaur heritage have made them a lot more interesting. And I can really feel a lot more of a connection to these characters as an option now that I know that, you know, you can actually do that. You actually have that ability to transform into a dinosaur, but also, you know, make yourself have like these bone dinosaur mounts and stuff. Ah. So cool. I love it. The Ratfolk. Okay. Yosoki are beings that most surface-dwelling humanoids refer to as Ratfolk. They are a community of people who prefer cramped conditions with up to 100 individuals living in a given home. If they cannot find homes in town, Ratfolks may instead live in caves and cavern complexes, as these provide for great storage for the many and varied goods they bring back for their trading expeditions. Ratfolk love to travel, can often be found on the roads in merchant caravans. They're good with their hands and have keen eyes for spotting anything out of the ordinary, from threats to treasure. They are also inveterate hoarders, The Ysoki warrens are crammed full of unusual odds and ends gathered by previous generations and stowed away in preparation for some future emergency. If you want a character who plays smart, fast, and well-traveled and adaptable, try playing a Ratfolk. You might have pride in your large extended family and stay in contact with everyone, and like to travel near and far in search of new experiences, likely collecting trinkets along the way, while others probably are surprised by your careful grooming and other fastidious habits and think you're crowding them and invading their personal space. Cool. I like that. So, they're here for your warpstones. Yes, the Skavens. So yeah, yeah, so I think one of the cool things is Ratfolk's. I don't know how much of the Ratfolk's core material before Starfinder lent on this idea of the Ysoki, which are the Ratfolk race from Akaton, which is Mars in the world. But I like the fact that it's interconnecting them. Like, on Mars, they're scavengers and salvagers and traders, which seems to be kind of the vibe they're going for with them now. So in my mind, I'm seeing almost a transposition of those two types of characters. Because originally Ratfolks for me were like sewer dwellers, and they kind of like, you know, if you ever watch the Secret of Nim movie, you know, stuff like that, where they have their little families and their cloisters and stuff. Now I'm kind of seeing them almost like very Mad Maxy, you know, D&D Jawas. Yeah, basically, yeah, Pathfinder Jawas is kind of like what I'm thinking of. So I'm kind of getting that particular vibe of that, you know, that whole thing. Cool. All right, societies. Ysoki culture values cooperation and community. Every Ratfolk learns through communal games, social occasions, and sports to forge fast friendships and connections with Ratfolks outside their family. With long traditions of working as traders and tinkerers, Ratfolks travel frequently from one town to another. Their wagons are usually grouped into caravans of up to half a dozen vehicles. Ysoki wagons are pulled by exceptionally large giant rats, and many Ratfolk speak to such animals. Every Ysoki family probably has a dozen names that have been passed down from generation to generation, some with a minor alteration or alternative nickname. Ratfolks often assign nicknames and sobriquets by humanoids they interact with, but most find these names distasteful and endure them only when outside their communities. Beliefs. Ratfolks care more about their family than abstract concepts of good and evil. Their warrens might be chaotic dens filled with hoarded knickknacks, but they also obey strict social codes. The Ratfolks revere their ancestors and tend to acknowledge whatever deity is prevalent in their local area. Lao Shu Po has a special role in Ysoki culture. Grandmother Rat embodies many things that are otherwise antithetical to Ratfolk. She urges followers to put their own interests above others. Most Ratfolks, Grandmother Rat accomplishes all things that need to be done, but which they would not wish to. Let me try that again. She urges followers to put their own interests above others. To most Ratfolk, Mother Rat accomplishes all things they need done, but which they do not wish to do. Popular edicts: put your community and interests above your own. Maintain a cleanly appearance. Be honest in your dealings. Popular anathema: throw away something which may be useful. Sobriquet is a fancy name for nickname. Oh, okay. Ooh, la-di-da, freaking Mr. Paizo. Hey, Malekith, The Secret Name was my only favorite book when I was a kid, and I really want to reread it. Ah, yay. Sobriquet. Very well. Thank you, Zenhouse. Much obliged. As well as, Redal. I learned a new word. Dag has leveled up. Okay. I'm streaming. I said this. Sorry, my partner's checking up on me. All right. Never read the book, only watched the movie. Should get the book. I've only watched the movie as well, but I hear the book is quite good. I hear the book is darker, for obvious reasons. Okay, maybe that's a dag read. Who knows? We'll see. Ratfolk heritage. Deep rat. Live deep underground. You gain dark vision instead of low light vision. Easy done. Desert rat. Native to the arid plains. You increase your land speed to 30 foot as you run on all fours. Nice. You are also more protected from the heat. There you go. Hey, Vancouver by Night. Good to see you. Welcome in. We're just reading through the Player Core 2, which is just released as well. Let's see. Long snout rat. The long snout rat has a keener scent, so you now have a 30-foot scent. Yep, 30-foot scent range and bonus to perception. Nice. Sewer rats. Resistance against diseases and poisons. You're more hearty than most. Shadow rats. You are more intimidating. You can coerce animals. Cool. Snow rat. You are more resistant to the cold. Tunnel rat. You can squeeze and make your way through narrow spaces. Yeah, 80s was good for traumatizing people. Alright, so they get bonuses to their dex and intelligence and floor to their strength. Makes perfect sense. Low light vision and sharp teeth, which they bite people. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think the Ratfolks are really interesting. Like I said, I do definitely feel like they've lent on the Yosoki, the Starfinder thing a little more. So that's good. I think by collaborating I think it's brought up the Ratfolk, in my opinion. To make them a little bit more standoutish than just simply being rat people. Now you're thinking about like desert dwelling scavengers who, have like big, communities who like are very, very close to one another. And, you kind of welch on a deal with one of them, then all of them eventually hear about it. And then you're just like, oh no, now I've, ruined my reputation. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay. What next? Cheek pouches. Nice. Cheek pouches. Pouches for cheeks, like a bag of holding, but in your mouth. Cool, easy. Pack rat, you can increase how much you can carry. Nice. Rat familiar, also cool. Ratfolk lore, you get acrobatics and stealth as well as the lore. Nice. Rat speak, you have speak with animal, but with rodents. Cool. Tinker fingers, you can use crafting, and you're better at that. Nice. Vicious incisors, more power on your bite attack. Warren Navigator, good on your survival for knowing your directions. That's cool as well. She released jobs using my view account. What is my view account? I don't look at my view account. We know this. Dag just chills. Let's see. My view account. I've got 20 people. 20 cool, fun, and amazing people. 21. Nice. Yeah. I'm doing good. Today's stream is not about anything, by the way. Today's stream is not about like money or subs or anything like that. It is just me wanting to hang with you guys and give you guys a chance to earn some more channel points. Basically it. Why do I do it? I don't know. No idea. You guys were very, very kind to me last week with all the donations and with the fundraiser that we did. So I'm putting in the extra mile and giving you guys some love and hanging out with you guys tonight. Reading this thing. Because I couldn't read it by myself, but, that's boring. Alright, where are we at? 5th level, Cornered Fury. The foe is larger than you. It critically hits you and damages you. That foe is then off guard for 1 round. Interesting. Aww, Senhouse, don't be sad. I know not having CC is, challenging, but, it's good to sometimes have a break. And I'm glad that, there was at least somewhat of a break tonight, which is good. But, I didn't have time to, pitch like, hey, let's, play something on CC or whatever. Usually I'll do, but yeah, it's just tough. But I am working on a one-shot from the auction as well, which is a Pathfinder 2nd edition game. Which is also why I'm trying to stay on top of my game. Trying to know as much as I can about everything. So that when we get to doing the one-shot, I am still all up to date with all my materials. So. Let's see. Lab Rat. Spend time in an alchemy lab exposed to poisons and the like. You get bonuses to poisons and diseases. Nice. Quick stow. As a free action, you can stow something in your cheek pouch. Or can you know, like retrieve it? Interact to store one of your items that you're holding in your cheek pouch. Okay, yeah, I guess. Rat magic, you can cast Animal Messenger. Cool. Ratfolk roll. You roll around, you make a ball of yourself. Oh my god, is this Sonic the Hedgehog? You roll up into a ball and move up to 4 times your speed in a straight line down an incline. If you reach the bottom of the incline or hit an obstacle in the first turn of the movement, you stop rolling safely. Otherwise, you keep rolling at speed during subsequent turns until you hit the bottom of the incline or an obstacle ends the movement, which can happen in the middle of your turn. You're slowed to each turn after the first you keep rolling, and if you hit an obstacle, the obstacle and you both take 4d6 bludgeoning damage and you stop rolling. God fucking damn it. It is absolutely freaking Sonic the Hedgehog. Why is there spin dash? I have no problem with spin dash. I love Sonic, but you know. We still get to hang out. Yeah, that's the important thing. Exactly. Nice, chill, fun. Get to hang out. Yeah, absolutely. OG Liar, you know you love the drama and tormenting players. It's true. It's true. Everyone does love. That's the thing, is my channel is built upon my audience tormenting players and me. That's entirely the entire stick. Okay, Big Mouth. Can store more. Good. Overcrowd. Only 2 creatures can share the same space at the same time, so you can, yeah, basically crowd up an area. Cool, so you can end with a small ally. That's nice. Rat form. You can turn into a rat. Uncanny cheeks. Gain the person, consume person. So you get 2 new feats. Prescient Consumable and Prescient Planner. Except you always withdraw the objects from your cheek pouches. I think it's a free action to basically draw potions to consume. Yeah. Also Tormenting Nail. Yeah, that's always fun. Alright, Shin Stabber. As long as you're small, yeah, as long as you're a small creature or smaller, you can end your movement in the same square as an ally. Of any size. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can basically occupy the same square. Skittering Sneak. You can move up to your full action when you sneak. Cool. Warren Digger. You have Burrow Speed. Hey, nice. Actually, a Burrow Speed's really good. 17th. Call the Swarm! You give a shrill whistle and a swarm of rats pours forth from the surrounding area. Rats scurry, dealing damage. Okay, that's cool. That's a power. That's pretty powerful. Greater than the sum. You and other rat person all the force. You cast a large. Okay. Look, between enlarging yourself and summoning a swarm that does automatic damage, the swarm's got it, dude. I mean, it is once per day, so I mean, you know, there's that, but it's a pretty big one. Yeah, I think of the ones that are there so far, that one's probably got me the least interested. But you know, like, there's a lot of, pardon me, there's a lot of like little interesting things, but as a whole, I don't think the whole is as involved as all the other ones. But maybe I'm just picky. I don't know. The Tangu. Yes, I've been waiting for this one. The Tangu and the whatever it's called, the frog. They're the ones I'm very keen for. Rat swarms for everyone. I will be the Rat King. Okay, Tangu. Tangu are survivalists and conversationalists, equally living off the wilderness and equally at home living off the wilderness and finding a niche in a dense city. They accumulate knowledge, tools, and companions, adding them to their collection as they travel. The Tangu diaspora has spread across Galarian in search of a better life, bringing their skills with blade crafting to lands far from home. In maritime regions, Tangu notably work as fishers, blacksmiths, and jinx eaters, members of ships' crews who believe accurately or otherwise to absorb misfortune. A lore that was in the previous edition, which I actually really loved, is that Tangu ate bad luck. So yeah. Having lived in a variety of conditions and locations, Tangu tend to be non-judgmental, though their willingness to associate with lawbreakers has often led some to regard them with suspicion. If you want to play a character hailing from a rich history of artisanship and tradition, but who's happily to pick up a new practice as needed, you should play a Tangu. Yeah. There you go. Good night. You asking or are you going? If you're going, good night, Khan. It is just a little chilly here, which is why I'm gonna order some food, because I'm going to drift to sleep if I do not eat something, and if it remains as cold as it is right now. All right. What should I eat? Let's see. I had burritos yesterday. Ooh, I could have a toasty. Could have pies. Pies are good. Ooh, I wonder if there's a place that does. See, I can't eat too unwell. Because I'm trying to lose weight and get fit. Unfortunately, I think a lot of this stuff is not ideal. So I think I'm gonna go with just a veggie burrito, because I think that's just gonna be the easiest way to do it. Something tasty, not greasy. Yes. Yeah. If I just get a burrito but no sides or anything, I think that's the best way to go about it. Done. There you go. Sweet. Food is on its way. And I don't like veggie burritos, honestly. I am very much a carnivore. I definitely eat very poorly. But before I go to a convention, I usually do a lot of workouts. I do a lot to lose a lot of weight, to like build my strength back up. Mostly because, you know, like I want to be in my best form whenever I go to conventions to meet fans and stuff like that. I'm not a big guy by any state of the fact, but I don't know. It's like just part of what I feel is among my responsibilities to, you know, sort of be my best. And I don't ever feel like working on a table in front of a camera where I don't really have the opportunity to, like, you know, exercise properly and stuff is me at my best. So I usually, you know, do a few things like that, you know, try to do stuff. Until you never eat well at conventions. Yeah, I always tend to eat a lot at conventions and stuff. So yeah, and you, like I said, you've probably noticed I haven't drunk much Coke on my streams at the moment, stuff like that. Helps fight off the con crud. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Lots of things like that. Plus, it also means that if I need to do stuff like move equipment, like while I'm at conventions, it'll, you know, you can do that. You know, like I can, like last year, you know, we had to bump in all the speakers and the sound systems and stuff like that for each of our shows that we did at Gen Con, and I was the one carrying most of it, so, you know, it is what it is. Plus it means I can lift Dave, which, you know, people have seen me do. Actually, do I still have that picture? Hold on. Here we go. There. And file manager, photos, downloads. Yeah, there he is. There you go. Don't know how you can see that, but there is a good old Dag lifting up a Dave. Dave got on my shoulders, and I wouldn't let him off. And then I started doing squats with him. So strong. Ah, he's so strong. Yep, that's it. Actually, if you want to see something really cool, this is my buddy Pfeffer, Sir Pfeffer, who so Sir Pfeffer is a massive Viking-sized individual, and lifting Dave, riding Dave. I mean, I was sitting down when Dave like kind of came on my shoulder, so then I lifted him up. So I'd say I'd lifted him more than he was riding him, and then I told him to jump down. He just didn't. He didn't want to jump down. So anyway, this is my buddy Pfeff. Sir Pfeffer's over on his channel, and that is me lifting Pfeff, because Pfeff was like, I think somebody was like, you know, because I was telling them about how I was lifting Dave, and they were like, bet you can't lift Pfeff, and I was like, oh yeah, I could, and so I did, just hoiked him up, and I thought he was too tall. I thought he wasn't like on the, I thought he wasn't on the floor, so I actually stood on my tiptoes and then lifted him higher, and there's another photo that he's got of me on my tiptoes. I did that. I was like, yeah, go to bed. If you're gonna go to bed, go to bed. Dave came on my shoulders. Dad, 2024. Thank you, Sandhouse. I appreciate that. Glad you're gonna save that. If you ever get me, I would never drop kick you. I would definitely pick you up and put you in a suitcase and run away with you. Like, just be like, haha, this is mine now. You can work for me on my channel. Yeah. That's what would happen, Mac. Just, yep, chain you to a basement and be like, now work for the Dead Aussie Gamer here in Australia. Okay. We're doing Tangus. We're talking about Tangus. Don't kidnap Mac. Oh, fair. You can lift a lot of things, whether or not you need a chiropractor afterwards. That's true. I don't need a chiropractor. Like your own Bobby. Yes, I need my own Bobby. Okay. You might be, as a Tengu, gregarious and eager to find a flock of your own, viciously absorbed in the practice of those around you, sometimes even forgetting where they came from. Others probably get confused by your simultaneous respect for and disregard of tradition. Right. So get confused by your simultaneous respect for and disregard of tradition, which for me means that Tengus respect tradition but don't let it hold them back. My thought. And they have trouble reading your expressions or regard you with suspicion and superstition. Okay. Could steal Bobby at Gen Con, but then you'd have Bobby. It's true, I'd have Bobby. You know, Bobby's hard to feed. Now I know Dag can pick me up. Yeah. I am strong Dag. Big strong Dag. Though I don't have the big muscles that I used to. I did used to, though. Actually, this shirt is way too small for me to actually be able to flex it all. So that's kind of a positive. Like, I don't know if you guys can see how, like, freaking tight this is. That's why so I can't actually close this properly. Like, I mean, I could, but, like, it'll very much explode if I flexed. So that's why one of the reasons why I keep it open. So, there you go. All right, why are we talking about my body? Get out of here. Don't need to talk about that. All right. Society. Too strong for your shirt. Need a new one. Yeah, that swole doesn't fit his shirt. No, Dag fat, which is why he doesn't fit his shirt. But you know, shoulders. I've always had broad shoulders. Sir, my husband's in the room. Are you trying to seduce him? Yes, Bali. Always. In fact, you know, like, hold on. Bali, this is... Just give me a second. Give me a second. Bali, bring your husband over here. Bring your husband over here right now. I demand this. I'm gonna just for 1 second. Just 1 second, Bali. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be it right here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hey there. How's it going? Dead Aussie Gamer. This is just a quick message I wanted to give to you. Whatever day it is, whatever time it happens to be. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I hope that someone took the time to make you feel like the special, wonderful, incredible person that I know you. I got lost for a minute in your eyes. I saw the whole universe being reflected in them, and I thought to myself, wow, who could think that destiny and lightning could strike all at once? Bam. Okay. I'm done. Get out of here. Leaving Bali. Perfect. Yes, that is what we seek. Okay, sorry, music went too loud just then. All right. Okay. Tangus. Fuck, I'm never getting through this. Okay. Tangus. The greatest divide in Tengu society is between Tengus remaining in the ancestral homes and those who have dispersed around the world. Tengus refer to these two groups as those who roost and those who migrate, respectively. Roosting Tengu tend to be more traditionalist and conservative, and especially concerned with preserving the culture in the face of years of erosion and oppression. Migrating Tengus, on the other hand, viciously absorb the cultures of various nations and settlements they now call home. Roosted Tengus now toward more traditional names, while migrating Tengus absorb and repurpose the culture around them. That's cool. I like that. Worked on everyone. Now we're all seduced. Yeesh. Yeah, Gen Con's gonna be fun. Yeah, I guess I'm single for Gen Con. My arm candy. You think you can just go back to reading after? Yes, I can. Watch me. Have I not told you about my ADHD side questing? I can absolutely do that. This is 100%. All my ADHD fam with me. Okay, so in Pathfinder, elves have those elves who are traditional, who are basically called elves. And you also have elves who are born or raised in other societies outside of elven culture, and they're called the Forlorn Elves, right? And that is the name for them. So I kind of like the fact that they are traditional Tengu, as in the Japanese cultural Tengu from mythology, which is called the Roosted Tengu. And then there's the Tengu who go and copy things that are around them, which is very reminiscent of like crows and magpies and stuff like that, which are called the migratory ones. So I like the fact that there is now this dichotomy in the race itself. I love that fact. It shows that, you know, while there is a stable cultural center, there is a divide almost community-wise or spiritually-wise for that race in particular to be able to separate. So I do like that. I actually really do enjoy that. Beliefs. Tengu often follow the faith of the religion that they were raised in, though Tengu's ancestral deity is the storm god Hei Feng. Before their diaspora, Tengu practiced syncretic faith that blended a polytheistic worship of... Fuck! You know what? Whoever the fuck wrote this entry, you can go and take your fucking clown college fucking university level writing an English degree with all your fancy fucking words. I am a grown-ass man, and I do not know half of these words. How am I supposed to make this accessible to certain people? There is so many different ways you could have explained this in such a simple way. And yes, your fancy word makes a difference. And yes, we can use Thoris.com. But you know what? What the fuck is before their diaspora, Tengu practiced a syncretic faith that blended a polytheistic worship of the deitic responsibility for creating the natural world. What the fuck? Even I play this game with 10-year-olds, okay? Give me a break. Help us out here, buddy. Diaspora. Don't need it. Fucking... Before they separated into roosted and migratory. Blarg. Anyway, sorry. I love you. You guys write well. Just a dum-dum. Thesaurus. Tangu, sponsored by Thesaurus.com. Freaking Tangu being all wordy and traditional and stuff. Yes. Also, one in knowledge society starts reading Tangu. Yeah. Okay. So, before the diaspora, Tangu practiced a syncretic faith that blended their polytheistic worship of the deities responsible for creating the natural world. As Tangu's folklore posits that Tangu long ago descended from the night sky on shooting stars to rest on Galarian's highest peaks, animist rites were practiced on mountains and other great natural features. Their popular edicts are to protect Tangu traditions, adopt lessons from other cultures, and seek out natural wonders. Their popular anathema is losing control of your emotions, which is probably why you wouldn't see too many Tangu barbarians, for example. Interesting. Love that. Diaspora, when a group of people leave their homeland to spread out. Yeah. See, I knew that because in Pathfinder, there's the asteroid belt, which is called the Diaspora. Synectric is basically grabbing things and smashing them into your own culture. Like merging, mixing. I mean, look, a smart person can get the context of what is being said. But what I'm saying is, like, it should still be accessible for people who don't understand it and just won't sit there and go like, what does this mean? Anyway. Whew. Tangu heritages. Dogtooth Tangu. In addition to a beak, your mouth also features a number of vicious pointed teeth. Some legends claim your powerful jaws can bite through steel. Nice. Do birds have teeth? I mean, yeah, sure, some of the serrated... So it'd be like a serrated beak more than anything else. Right, that's what I'm saying, Senhouse. I feel that. Too many big, complicated consistencies. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the concept is great. The story is great, the concept is great, the world building is great, but it is also important to make sure that it is accessible. And that was not. And I just got angry. Even geese have teeth on their tongue? Fuck off. No, I have to Google that because I'm dumb. I don't know if geese have hooks on their tongue. Do 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 do. That is fucked. That is fucked. Holy shit, that is so fucking fucked. What the shit? There's no fucking way that's real. Why? 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 Why is this a thing? At what point did evolution go? All right, listen. Beaks, right? Fucking hard as steel. Let's put some teeth on it. And then, here's the kicker. We'll give him a tongue. With teeth on it. But why? What are you eating that is so difficult? I hate life. I hate all these things. Nothing about this makes me feel happy or safe. This is terrifying. Okay. There goes my fucking algorithm. I was just gonna show me geese tongues for ages. Okay. Jinx Tengu. Your lineage has been exposed to curse after curse, and now they slide off you like feathers in rain. If you succeed in your saving throw against a curse or misfortune effect, you get a critical success. Nice. If you gain the doom condition, you can make a flat check. On a success, you reduce the doom condition by 1. Also nice. That is brilliant. Love that. Mountain Keeper Tengu. You come from the line of Tengu Ascetics, leaving you with a link to the spirits in the world of the great beyond. You can cast a Vitality Lash as a cantrip. Nice. It's like it's kind of like what that Rebuke Undead spell, like the Harm Undead spell, like cantrip was, but it's now just a positive energy lash. Each time you cast a spell from the Tengu heritage, you can decide if it's divine or primal. Nice. Skyborn Tengu. Your bones may be especially light. Maybe you have wings. Take no damage from falling. Nice. Storm tossed Tangu. You're resistant storm, electricity resistance. Nice. Automatically succeed at flat checks to target a concealed creature if they're in rain or fog. Nice. Oh man, that'd be so cool. Imagine like a samurai with like, you know, the storm tossed, you know, bound to electricity and stuff, and then you like have someone like cast lightning bolt on me, and then I'll use my samurai sword and be like, oh, and hit them in the rain. That'd be cool. No reason, just I thought it'd be cool. Tangu Talon. Talons are very sharp. Deal damage for slashing. Nice. Wave Diver Tangu. Red Tangu cut through. You get a swim speed. Okay, interesting. I feel like you can make geese. That is what they've done. They've made it so you can make a goose. Okay. Mariner's Fire. Orbs of spiritual flame that fly above the water surface. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I should read that in a second. Okay. Let's see. Dexterity and a free one. Oh, but no penalty. Interesting. Okay. This is the first non-penalty race in this book, so that's an interesting one. They have Sharp Beak, which we already established, and Low Light Vision. Okay, interesting. Cool. I like it. Okay, so let's see. Mariner's Fire. You create an orb as a cantrip for ignition. Okay, cool. So you can just use a ignition cantrip. That's fine. One-toed hop. Be a seagull. You can take a vertical leap without triggering a reaction. Okay. Cool. Scavenger search. You're always on the search for supplies. Gain a bonus for searching for stuff. Cool. Squawk. I feel like they're just making geese. No. Stop it. Sand house. No. I'll tee the back of the tongue so they can't try and get you to barf you up. Jesus. Messed up. Alright. Squawk. You let out a squawk when you critically fail a deception, diplomacy, or an intimidate check against a creature that doesn't have the Tengu trait. You ruffle your feathers and some other bird. You basically fake a bird-like tick to cover up your misstep. If you get a failure on the thing, rather than a critical failure, all creatures who witness you squawk are temporarily immune. Oh, cool. So if you critically fail, you just go, and then it just goes to a regular failure. That's kind of cute. Stormlash. You cast Electric Arc. Nice, cool. Tengu Lore. You get Society and Survival, and you get to know stuff about Tengus. Weapon Familiarity. Here we go. The Katana, the Karakata, the Temple Sword, the Wakizashi. Nice. So all the swords, all the cool Japanese swords. Nice. Uncanny Agility. You have near supernatural poise. Lets you move swiftly through surfaces. Steady balance. Cool. So you're just more balanceable, which is nice. So Tengu for me always, like in Pathfinder, had the very samurai-esque feel or vibe, and that really does seem to still stick out really closely here. Raina just sent me a picture of Godzilla. I don't know why. But I now have a picture of Godzilla. Is Godzilla playing with us at Gen Con? Okay, I don't know. She's lurking in here? Nah, she's not. She doesn't watch my shit. I'm surprised you guys are here. Okay. Eat Fortune. I don't like the sound of that. Once per day. Creature within 60 foot uses Fortune or Misfortune effect. If Misfortune effect, Eat Fortune gains the Fortune trait. If it's Fortune effect, Eat Misfortune gains the Misfortune trait. Oh, so you reverse the effect. That's cool. Oh, thank you, OG. I like that. Thank you. Much appreciated. So yeah, you reverse the effect. So luck rolls become unluck rolls, and unluck rolls become luck rolls. That's cool. I like that. Long-nosed form. You transformed into a specific curious-looking humanoid. The human void's average stage, yada yada. Your nose remains as long as your beak, with your complexion has red undertones, no matter the skin color of your human form. Using your long-nosed form is creating a disguise and impression, yada. So now we're looking at transforming into one of the traditional Tengus, which is the red face, the long nose that you would often... let me see if I can find it. Hold on. So this is the traditional Tengu. This isn't a Pathfinder one, but this is more or less what you would turn into. Bear with me. Well, I just load this up. There we go. So that is that is a traditional Tengu. So it looks like your long-nosed form turns you into one of these. Ah, Vataria, thank you so much. Yeah, there you go. So I like that. I like that because it's a good reference to the original culture and stuff. But you are now in disguise. But what does this disguise do? You can impersonate people. But you get to people. People believe that you're human. I mean, that's it. It's just it's literally like just a shapeshift. Santa on crack, yeah. Angry Serrano Santa. Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Okay, Magpie Snatch. You move quickly, snatching a shiny item that catches your eye. Stride twice, then use an interact action to pick up an unattended object at any point during your movement. And it's a 2-action ability. So yeah, you just run past and be like, and keep running. That's hilarious. Oh, that is some bullshit. But that is also really funny. Soaring Flight. I would absolutely take that feat too. Skyborn Tengu. You fly. If you don't have a fly speed, you get a fly speed of 20 foot. Nice. But you have to end at the, on the ground. Tengu Feather Fan. Nice. I like this. Okay, you've learned to bind some of your feathers into a fan to focus your ancestral magic. You gain the Tangu Feather Fan, a magic item with an item by 1, yada yada yada. Fan is also destroyed, yada yada yada. Activate fan wave once per day. Cast a choice spell, you need to take a fan. You can instead catch what you gained. Activate a spell, whichever is higher. Oh, okay, cool. So your fan activates, and you can basically use it as charges for your spells. So instead of using your spells, you cast it through and use your item, your magic item charges. So that's kind of cool. The original fans were ones that could like strum up like whirlwinds and stuff like that and like blow people away. So that'd be kind of cool. Soaring Form, more fly. Cool. Wind God Fan. Oh, there we go. You can start more powerful winds. 1 activation time per day. You can use Wall of Wind. Nice. That's cool. 13th level spell. Harbinger's Claws. A creature within 60 foot makes an attack. You caw ominously. I think it's Harbinger's Caw, but it says Harbinger's Claw. Yeah, basically, if you pick that, if you don't pick those, you get nothing at 9th level. That is a very, very well observed truth right there. I mean, you can take lower, you can take lower level ones, but yeah, you will skip your 9th level one if you don't have those prerequisites. Okay, yeah, I think that's supposed to be Harbinger's Caw, because it says you caw ominously, cursing a creature, yada yada yada. Yeah, that looks like a typo. Haha, found a typo. Jinx Glutton. Eat fortune. You can eat fortune once per hour, then once per day. Nice, like that. Thunder God's Fan. Fan unleashes the storm. When you activate it, you can cast Lightning Bolt. Yes! Hell yeah. Play your fan, cast Lightning Bolt. That's at 13th level. 17th level. Longnose form. You take the form of a large spirit once per day. You get enlarge and... Oh god, I got the hiccups. Enlarge and fly. Which is actually called the Die Tangu. But yeah, that's really cool. Trickster Tangu. Transform yourself to express your displeasure. Use aerial form or cursed metamorphosis. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you really want to fly or a fan. Yeah. So, okay, cool. So yeah, it does seem like there's a lot towards the jinx eating, a lot towards the flying and the maneuverability, which I think is dope as hell. Finally, we are at the Tripkey. The Tripkey, our little froggy friend. Ribbit. Tripkeys are shy and cautious. Oh wait, no, I should probably give my feedback. Tengus, like them, love them, did before, do now. The character I played when I was playing Curse of the Crimson Throne was a Tengu swordsman. I am very happy that I am likely able to make this dude again. Okay, also my food is here. I'm gonna quickly grab it. We're gonna finish off these guys, and then I'm gonna end the stream so I can go eat my food. But yeah, I definitely want to do these guys. Give me 2 seconds. I'm back. Food time. Alright, here's the little guy. Okay. Tripkeys are a shy and cautious people who generally seek to avoid being drawn into the affairs of others. Despite their cautious outlook and small stature, adventurous Tripkeys still take bold and noble actions when the situation demands. Tripkey are reclusive treetop survivalists who harvest their home's bounties, utilizing their canopy homes as natural fortifications against threats posed by larger predators. Their reliance on cunning and simple tools has led to Tripkey often being mischaracterized as rudimentary, though this does poor justice to their skill in cultivation of hidden orchards and camouflaged causeways, tucked away in treetop nations. Tripkey are most likely to emerge from their forest homes to trade, explore, and combat threats which would despoil the world. If you want a character who is small in stature but large in spirit and possesses a quality of a tree frog, you should play a Tripkey. I miss food. Wait, didn't promise you do the next chapter? Sad cow eye. No, I will do... Yeah, I'm doing this, and then I'm doing... I'm doing this, then I'm gonna eat. Then I'm gonna do the versatile heritages, because we've got 3 of them, so yeah. I just meant I'm doing this last one before I eat. I think I said end, but I meant no. Yeah. Okay. You might seek out clever ways to exploit your environment when overcoming challenges. Make friends slowly, concerned by cautionary tales or of exploitative strangers. Others probably trust in your impartial, measured approach to understanding situations and solving problems, and give you space fearing that touching you would prove toxic. Interesting. Hey, Tussle, welcome in. Strong frog. Society. Tripkeys led a sophisticated hunter-gatherer lifestyle within which they reshaped the landscape to suit their needs, building spillways to trap fish, seeding bearing fruit trees, sowing cover grant foliage for future hunts, and more techniques that often escape agriculture's eyes. These strategies rely on community cooperation as well as dispersed populations, so Tripkey commonly live in small villages, each part of a complete complex of webbed alliances and relationships. Reclusiveness has preserved Tripkey lives and lifestyles for millennia, yet they're increasingly finding themselves threatened by ancient evils and new explorers alike. Tripkey names often include vowels and chirped consonants that remain difficult for non-Tripkeys to vocalize properly. Tripkeys that travel wildly often adopt more than one name to easily replicate by their associates. I'm not even going to try. Bogwin. So Bogwin, if it chirps on the consonants. Brogwin. 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 Yeah, the in would be the frog croak. Beliefs. Taught to wait, observe, and respect natural processes of life and death, many Tripkey adopt patient attitudes. Those who take a more active role in suppressing cruelty may join organizations that blend religion and philosophy, such as the Tripkey Fiend Keepers, who absorb an unholy being into their souls to contain and eventually transform its villainy through their own virtuous acts. Fuck! Natural deities like Gosray or Aristil often earn Tripkey's respect, yet communities prefer less prominent, more intimate deities, such as the Imperial Lords, the Psychopomp Ushers, or the Fey Eldest. Popular edicts: improve your part in the world without causing harm to others, practice patience where possible. Popular anathema is to create architecture that supplants the natural world, or taking rash action to risk your community. So, Fiend Keepers, huh? Neat! They absorb demons! Fucking nice. I am so keen to hear how they managed that. Alright. Poison Hide Tripkey. They have toxic skin. As a reaction, if someone touches them, they get poisoned. Nice. Riverside ones, they get a swim speed. Nice. Snap Tongue. Your tongue is especially long, and you can strike with precision. You can use it to deliver spells with a range of touch. What's the range, though? You can perform simple interact actions. Yeah, tongue can perform the actions required. Oh, here's an interesting snafu. So the snap tongue Tripkey, your tongue is especially long and you can launch it with extraordinary range and precision. You may use your tongue to deliver spells with a range of touch and perform extremely simple interact actions, such as opening some types of unlocked doors. Your tongue can't perform action that requires fingers or significant manual dexterity, including any actions that would require checks to complete. But if you can launch your spells at range using your tongue, shouldn't we know what the length of your tongue is? That is an interesting point. I think there might be more feats to explain that, but right now, that is an absolutely useless versatile heritage. Hey, Drake Tales! Welcome in, you bloody beautiful legends, you. Good to see you. How are you? How was your stream? Tell me all the things. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. Drake Take, sorry. I said Tails for some reason. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. We do a bunch of stuff here on the Dead Aussie Gamer channel. Mostly we play Pathfinder. Right now we are just doing a read-through of the Pathfinder's new book, Player Core 2. Where we're just sitting out reading the books and sort of figuring stuff out. We're right now reading the tree frog people known as the Tripkey and going through them. But yeah, let me know. How was your stuff? How was your games? Just call you Drake. We finished up some Curse of Strahd. Ooh, nice. Tell us about that. How's it going? Where are you in Curse of Strahd right now? I went through Curse of Strahd with my Patreons a little while ago, about a year or so ago, and they had to end very, very abruptly. And depending on where you've ended, I'll tell you in your community where our group ended up ending, because it's one of my favorite stories is how my group finished Curse of Strahd. Not successfully, mind you, but they finished it. It was done. They just got done with the death house and are trying to get out of the mist and have failed. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, I can't tell you mine. I can't tell you mine. Now, there's no spoilers in this. I mean, this is just an obvious don't do this, obviously, but there's no spoilers here. In our game, our group was in Ravenloft, exploring around in search of someone who was trapped within Ravenloft. And one of our players who had developed a sense of paranoia for portraits, because, there's some places like the Death House and stuff, or, well, not the Death House specifically, but, places like the Death House, which had, like, the portraits that had people's eyes kind of, like, following them and stuff, went to Strahd's personal bedroom, took the portrait off the wall, which I'm trusting that, Drake, you know what portrait I'm talking about, then threw that portrait in a fire. Strahd had pretty much phoned it in, called it up. He said, nope, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to kill you all. And they then ended because any attempt to move around Barovia was met with a very large and very hostile response from Strahd. So yeah. The majority of our group didn't do anything. It was just one player. But it's funny because it's always the same player. Frickin' Neil. But yeah, so we ended the game and then moved on to a different session. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, pissing Strahd makes people dead. It does. It very much does. It's like a cat and mouse game until someone fucks up, And the thing is he had no reason to do it. It was none. It was like, you find yourself in this really cute little cozy place. You see this portrait, what do you want to do? I pick up the portrait and throw it in the fire. Why? Why is that such a sudden thing? But anyway, I digress. But anyway, yes, welcome. If you do want to follow the channel and check out all the cool stuff I do, we mostly play Pathfinder. We'll be back later on tonight for Reign of Winter, but then we've also got other shows like the Seven Dooms of Sandpoint, Gatewalkers, bunch of cool stuff. And you'll meet Neil tonight, yeah. All right, so Snap Tongue Tripkey. Without a distance or a range on the Snap Tongue, that power does nothing. Literally does nothing, because it doesn't say how long your tongue is. That could mean you could use your tongue to open a door. Don't know what that means. Hey, thank you so much for the 500 bits, Drake. You have fed my dear friend Phantom, who is our channel pet. Let's give him a little extra more. Yum. And he'll do a happy little dance for you as well. There we go. Yay. Happy little dance. Okay. Now. Sticky Toe Tripkey. Let's see. Your hands exude an extra film. You get a bonus to your fortitude and reflex when you are trying to shove, push, or retreat or reposition. Yeah, cool. The success on a athletics check to climb, you get a... Okay, cool. So basically you create like this mucus that you can, sort of use to help you out a bit. That's not bad. That's a good one, especially if you're looking at like a monk or something, or someone with hand-to-hand combat. That's probably going to be good. Thick Skin Tripkey. Gain some extra hit points. Nice. And bonuses to disease and poison. Cool. Windweb Tripkey. Oh, so these are like the frogs with the webbings under their arms. You do not take fall damage. Nice. So hold on. So there's the Lizardfolk that do it. There's these guys that do it. There's the Catfolk that do it. And there's the... Yeah. So there's like 3 of the races in this. No, and the Tangu can fly and fall. So there's like 4 of the races that are in this have the ability to slow fall. I don't want to say they're being lazy. I don't. But it's not the first time I've seen multiple people with just the same power. I mean, makes sense though for these guys. Makes sense for the Tengu. And kind of makes sense for the webbed lizard thing, I guess. Okay, I can't complain. I'm not going to complain. Fall damage is for chumps. That's it. All right, ancestry feats. Croak Talker, yada, yada, yada. You can talk to amphibians. Nice. Hunter's defense as a reaction. Once per hour, a creature with the animal beast, yada, yada, yada. You can only understand them and predict their actions, so you can dodge them. That's pretty cool. Use your nature DC instead of your AC. That's actually quite good. So yeah, actually, I do really like that, though. It's not the fall damage that hurts, it's the sudden stop. That's true. Can't argue that. I do like this. because I've always had this thing where hunters and rangers, I think, should be rewarded for the fact that they can predict or understand how certain creatures are going to behave, so they should get bonuses to their AC and stuff. But I like this specifically because rather than using your AC, you're now specifically using your nature skill, your actual skill, to determine how hard it is to hit you because of your understanding. I actually kind of like that. I think that works really well. I mean, admittedly, I don't know how I feel because, you should still be applying your armor and stuff like that. Like, I think maybe that should be a dodge bonus, and then they should have to hit your AC. Or your AC should provide you a bonus to it, or whatever. But, yeah, it's interesting. It does allow you to avoid taking penalties to your AC, which is cool. So, yeah. So it's like kind of an all-or-nothing kind of dodge sort of thing. Can play in Kobold. Okay, done. Thank you, Bali. Appreciate that. My local in-person gaming group started Pathfinder. It's very crunchy, but just as fun, in my opinion, as 5e. Yeah, look, Pathfinder is crunchy. No one's ever going to deny that, right? For me, Pathfinder is more about versatility than it is crunch. Like, I teach the game to 10-year-olds. It is not easy to teach. But once you learn it, once you know how to play it, you can do things in it that I think you can't do in any other game. It just requires the time sink from everyone, the players, the GM, yada, yada, yada. But it's a wonderful system that has just so many options. You just are spoiled for choice. You will very rarely find a table where you'll have the same characters appearing twice. Like, I've been playing for over 15 years now, and I don't think I've ever seen the same character be made twice outside of someone who is like brand new. It does remind you of 3rd edition. Well, 1st edition Pathfinder was actually D&D 3.75. It was actually backwards compatible to 3rd edition. What we're looking at here today is Pathfinder 2nd edition remastered Player Core 2. So this version is completely different. The gameplay, all of that sort of stuff. But it still holds that tradition of like building characters as like almost like a tinker toy type thing, like putting all the pieces together and like kind of making and assembling a character that you like. There's a lot of benefits to playing it. It for me, it does to 1st edition what 1st edition did to D&D 3.5. It makes things a lot more streamlined, a lot more simpler, but at the same time, it still gives me all the options that I want to be playing. So I don't want to be playing like just a standard barbarian with a club. I want to be playing like a town thug who is like the bouncer at a nightclub who specializes in grappling people, choking them out, and then dragging them into the street and throwing them on the ground. Right? You can build anything you want, and I love that. Yeah, hard thing to learn, especially the little tabs on the edge of the books. Lots of nice info for that area. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if it does help you as well, one of the big things that really guided me through it was VTT's like Fantasy Grounds, which does a lot of the automated stuff for you. So you don't need to worry too much about like buffs and bonuses and all that because it's all pre-calculated. So that's my thing. If you know what, just come check out one of my shows, one of my live plays. You'll see exactly what I mean. The rules are always just the vehicle, and D&D is a great vehicle. Absolutely, 100%. I like Pathfinder. My players are willing to learn and make mistakes and learn with my audience. So that's kind of the direction I got. Plus, I mean, it helps that I did win an award, and officially I am an award-winning Pathfinder GM who has won Best Paizo GM of 2024. So, is what it is. Feels like if I start playing too much D&D, someone might just turn around and be like, "Take my award away from me." Okay, let's see where we at. Jungle Strider, yada yada yada. Yeah, I did. This year I'm up for best Twitch legacy channel. So yeah. Let's see. So avoiding difficult terrain with Jungle Strider is the next one. Nocturnal Tripkey, you hunted in night, which is you have dark vision. Cool. Oh, actually, what do they get? They got natural climber, so they get bonus to climb, and they get low light vision. Okay, cool. And what do they get? Dexterity, wisdom, free, and then floor strength. Yeah, that makes sense. And they're small creatures. Okay. Terrifying Croak. You release a haunting croak, attempt to intimidate to demoralize within 30 foot. Makes perfect sense. You do not take a penalty to this check for not speaking the language. If the check is successful, they cannot reduce their frightened condition below 1 for 1 round. That's cool. All right. I use Twitch as a recording device and YouTube as my storage device for my games. Yeah, me too. That's exactly it. So if you have a look at Dead Aussie Gamer live episodes, that is where the last link there is the one I keep all my stuff on. It's basically just storage. Yeah. Tripkey lore, nature, stealth, and then they can know about Tripkey life. Okay. Tripkey weapons. Here we go. Blowgun, dart, hatchet, a scythe, shortbow. A Tripkey with a scythe. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pathfinder doesn't have size differences for scythes, meaning that even as a small creature, you would have a giant scythe that would do the same amount of damage as this small size scythe. That's actually really cool. I super like that. I love that. 4K followers, you also make a couple of folding money. That's true. Yeah, no, I look, I don't track stuff like that. For me, I do what I do because I love what I do. I'm a big advocate of wellness through gaming, and I want to promote to people that we can enjoy things like role-playing games in a way that embraces a community of people who are supportive, who look out for each other, but also allow us to learn how to express ourselves, to communicate, to solve problems, to find those middle grounds, and to express our creativity in a safe, encouraging environment. And I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to do that even if no one watches my shows. I'm going to keep doing it because, I don't know, I feel like it's a message that needs to be out there in the world. Pathfinder is just the car I'm driving. Okay. So, level 5. Fantastic leaps. You can leap horizontally. Oh, thank you, Bali. Your leaps defy gravity as you soar through the air in a single bound. Ah, Superman quote. You can leap horizontally 10 foot and vertically 5 foot. So you can go forward 10 foot and up 5 foot. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm imagining the same thing, Senhouse, like a Terry Pratchett style Tripkey. Or you know what you could do? You can have like the poison dart frog with like the black and white colors, and then the little hood, and then he's a tiny little Grim Reaper. All right, long tongue. You've learned to stretch your exceptionally long tongue beyond its original limits when you use your tongue to deliver a ranged touch spell, or to provide the distance that is 5 foot beyond your original reach. Okay, so long tongue implies that now your tongue can stretch to 10 foot instead of 5 foot. So I think maybe the tongue thing is supposed to be, hey, no worries, Drake. See you later. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I think it's supposed to be that you have two things, in your hands, or you have a two-handed thing, and you can still use your tongue to interact. So I think maybe it's like having a third appendage that you can do interactions with, and now long tongue is dividing the range. Maybe. Bad sentence. Prestigious climber. Again, a climb speed of 10 foot. Nice. Tenacious net. Escaping a net is no simple task. Yada, yada, yada. So when you're using a net, it's a lot more tricky for them to leave. Glide. Okay, so this now, when you do your fall, you can actually move around a little bit, which is cool. Vomit stomach. Now, this is something I didn't realize frogs did for the longest time. Okay, so you gain the sickened condition. You vomit out your stomach, reduce the sickened condition by 2, and empty out the ingested poisons. And you become off guard as your stomach makes you vulnerable to attack. Yeah. Yeah, they do that though. Absorb toxin. You are not as long as you are not immune to poisons and yada yada yada. You attempt a saving throw. Your skin draws the poison. So it's a counteract check, so you can negate or suffuse the poison with your own, killing poison with poison. I kind of like that. Moisture bath. Remove fire damage and cold damage. Nice. Cool. Ricocheting leap. Use wall jump to jump. Jump off a creature in this way. Nice. So yeah, basically you can jump off creatures and shove them and then jump onto different surfaces. That's cool. It kind of gives you kind of this bounding assailant kind of thing. That'd be really interesting. I'd love to see a build with ricocheting leap. Tongue tether. You can latch onto something with your tongue. If you have long tongue, you can disarm, grab an edge, reposition, and trip with your tongue at a distance. Nice. Envenomed edge. You can poison people with your poison. Hop up. You can stand as a free action if you get knocked down. Nice. Unbound leaper. You need 30 foot in any direction. Yada yada. Okay, cool. Sweet. All right. Interesting. I am very surprised they didn't do anything further with the whole Fiend Keeper idea. Because here is almost like a throwaway line. Those who take a more active role suppressing cruelty may join organizations that blend religion and philosophy, such as the Tripkey Fiend Keepers, who absorb an unholy being into their soul to contain and eventually transform its villainy through their own virtuous acts. That's a huge thing. That's a really good lore building thing. But there's no powers or abilities or anything that alludes to even this being usable or anything. I like their mobility. The mobility is fantastic. The fact they can climb, they can swim, they can jump, they can cling to walls. There's a lot of mobility here, which I think is going to be a lot of fun to play with. The croaking and stuff's great. The tongue, 10-foot reach on a tongue is good, I guess. But 15's better. It's one of those things. I'm not afraid of a 15-foot tongue reach, especially if I can't do anything that requires fingers. It's not like you can solve a puzzle box or you can pick a lock. You can whap out, grab an object and pull it back to you. Or you can grab onto a surface and swing, These are the different things. But, that's just how I feel. And also the leaping one being the only 17th level, the only 17th level. I'm doing this on purpose. The only 17th level ability, that's an okay ability, right? Again, furthering the mobility, but is that really everything we want from the tree frog? I'm really hoping that that some of the class abilities might allow us to do the whole demon binding thing, like maybe the sorcerer has some sort of demon binding stuff, so that'd be kind of cool. Hey, Arkenforge, good to see you guys. Give a quick warm welcome to our friends from the Arkenforge. An Australian company that does some freaking absolutely amazing work and plays a freaking awesome and hard game of D&D over on their channel. So go check them out and go hang out with Arkenforge. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm just enjoying a bunch of stuff. So Arkenforge, what I'm right now doing is I am reading First Contact with Player Core number 2. Pathfinder 2nd Edition released a while ago, but then the OGL stuff happened, so then they re-released Pathfinder 2nd Edition as remastered. So this is the second player book for the remastered edition, if that makes sense. So it includes a bunch of new classes, new races, things like that, and yeah, that's it. So there is a redo of the core. Let me see if I can find it for you. Actually, you know what? I think it might be. Give me a sec. So, for those of you kitty kids playing at home, this is the first player core from the remastered set, okay? So, the only difference here is that they have just taken out everything associated with D&D. That's all. It is entirely and fully backwards compatible with the original core set, for sure. It is completely original, completely compatible. But they wanted moving forward to use their own material. So it's just a lot of terms that have been changed. So like, for example, instead of flanking, you now have off guard. Instead of say magic missile, they might have force missile. You know, just a few little things overall. And it's also like, you know, like again, everything's backwards compatible. Oh, and there's no alignment anymore. That's gone. So now there's edicts and anathemas. Blah 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 blah. This is the new GM core. So that is also an update on the Game Master's manual and stuff. And the new Monster Core, which is instead of the Bestiaries. But again, everything is backwards compatible. So all the original stuff is now known as Legacy stuff, and all the new stuff is just whatever it's called. So Player Core. Yeah. The core rulebook. I know we weren't going through the core rulebook, but we'll go through it super quick, just because, you know, why not? I don't mind it. I don't mind, like, you know, if people ask questions, you know, telling them all the cool stuff that we do. So in the core book, we have here we go. Oh, am I not gonna have the page that has all the stuff on it? Hold on. There is usually a page, and I might have just skipped it. There we go. So we have, as you can see, the bard, the cleric, the druid, the fighter, the ranger, the rogue, the witch, and the wizard in book number 1, as well as you can see there, the goblin, the gnome, the elf, the dwarf, the orc, the leshy, the human, the halfling, and then some versatile heritages down the bottom, which are kind of like the half-elves and stuff like that. So you've got changelings, the Nephilim, and what the hell are you? The mixed ancestry, so like the half-orcs, the half-elves, etc. So that was what came in the first one. So now we're just going through the races of the second core, which have been the Catfolk, the Hobgoblin, the Colo, which is the new version of the Gnoll, which I really like, the Lizardfolk, the Ratfolk, the Tangu, and lastly, the one we're looking at right now, which is the Tripkey, which is the tree frogs. So yeah, you know, like seeing all the new stuff that's now available, I'm really, really excited because they've unlike what I think D&D's been doing, which has been in wanting a better word for it, gentrifying like evil races like the orcs and the drow and stuff like that. They are now making it so that they're more complex, more justified, and more understood as evil from outside perspective. Like with the Colo, for example. They do not just take people's bones and adorn them with it. They take the bones of the people they believe are strong and respected, and they bring them into their culture, because the only bones that they wear are the bones of their ancestors, the people who they cannibalize. They don't do that for everyone. But to other people, that's monstrous. That's horrendous. That's terrifying. So I like the fact that they still have those evil tendencies, but there's now, if you understand the deeper meaning behind it, they're actually really caring and very, you know, religious and spiritual. So I like that. Do they have the old stuff that didn't change in the new edition too, or do you need both editions to complete the picture? You do not. Redial, very big point. You absolutely do not. If you have one player at the table who has the legacy material, and your GM and the rest of the table have the core stuff, the person with the legacy material is not going to miss out. Some of their spells and abilities may need to change, in especially things with alignment, but other than that, nope, perfectly compatible. You do not need both editions. If you are getting into Pathfinder 2nd Edition for the first time, however, highly recommend just go straight for the remastered stuff. Just hit that on the head. You know, don't waste your time learning all the old stuff. The old stuff is like, think of the old stuff like 3.5 D&D, right? It's extra material that'll make your game better, but it's not what you need. So yeah, there you go. All right, versatile heritages. Let's get through the versatile heritages, and then we'll call it a day, shall we? So, versatile heritages. Now, when you select your heritage, like for example, let's go with the Tripkey, you would gain all of the stuff for the heritage. You would gain all the abilities you can see there on the sidebar, plus you'd get an ancestry feat, you'd get all the stuff. Now, a versatile heritage is if you wish to, rather than getting a ancestry feat from the Tripkey, you would gain a versatile heritage from having a mixed bloodline. So this bloodline is the bloodline of a vampire. So part vampire, part Tripkey, which would then give us access to these feats. Many call vampire children's vampires knights, Dampiers, yeah. So basically these are just, again, the vampire offsprings. Now, they do not have the same weaknesses as vampires do, but now you'll just have like kind of access to some of the powers and abilities of vampirism without necessarily having to be dragged in a coffin everywhere by your party. So yeah. Let's see. Stravieca. You descend from one of the truly ancient vampires of the Nosferatu. People call you Stravieca or Ancient Born. Gain bonuses to perception, sense motive, and you gain benefits against people trying to lie to you. Svochika. You're born to a Moroi. Moroi are the European vampires like Dracula. So Nosferatu were like the ones with like sort of rat-like teeth, bald and kind of thing. So so that was that. Svochika are like, Bram Stoker vampire. When you have the drain condition, calculate the penalty, yada yada yada, you get treated as one step lower. Eyes of the Night, you gain dark vision. Fangs, you get a bite attack. Vampire lore, you gain some religion, society, and knowledge about vampires. A Voice of the Night, you can use diplomacy and the like to talk with bats, rats, and wolves. Then you get in level 5, you have Enthralling Allure, you can cast Charm. Necromantic Physiology, which gives you bonuses against infections and parasites and diseases. An Undead Slayer. You gain bonuses to attack people with undead that are undead. Bloodletting Fangs. You do bleed damage on a crit hit when you bite. Night Magic. You gain an animal form, so you can shapeshift. Form of the bat, you can turn into a bat. Symphony of Blood, you cast Vampiric Exsanguination, which is like a vampire touch that rips out a ton of blood at higher levels. Cool. I have been interested in playing Bloodlords, but the thing is, as much as I want to do Bloodlords on my channel, I really want someone to run me through Bloodlords. Like, I want to play that one. So yeah. Okay, so that is the Dampier. Dragon Blood. Dragon Blood, people. Listen. For the longest time, and I'm going to stand on my soapbox here. For the longest time, the people of the Pathfinder world have been told that we are not the same as our D&D counterparts, because forsooth we have not the Dragonborn, and they are but the coolest. Well, lo, behold upon thee the Dragon Blood versatile heritage, which can turn any into a Dragonborn. And if one plays a Lizardfolk Dragon Blood, then one is truly Dragonborn. That's Pirates of the Caribbean. I was trying to do Skyrim, but I forgot what the soundtrack sounded like. Just, put it in. Pretend like I did that. All right. Dragonborns. Dragons are powerful creatures that may have involved themselves deeply in the lives of others. Some might be treated with reverence in groups. Yeah. Others taking on humanoid forms to live with civilizations, hiding their true intentions. Yep, dragon turned into a dude and fucked something else. Yep, sounds about right. That is basically, in a nutshell, where they come from. You consider yourself quite courageous. Cool. Alright. Dragon Blood. Alright, lineage. Arcane Dragon Blood. You descend from a... Oh, okay, actually, you know what? We should probably look at the new dragons while we are doing this. That would also be true, Marcus. Okay, so here we go. These are the new dragons. So, first one is Arcane Dragon Blood. You descend from the form of a dragon that wields the mastery of magical abilities, such as a fortune dragon or a mirage dragon. As such, you instinctively grasp the intricacies of magic. You gain arcane sense as a feat. Cool. So these are fortune dragons, which are dragons that cover themselves in treasure. And these are Mirage Dragons. As well. Which are kind of like, shapeshifty dragons. Cool. Divine Dragons. You trace your lineage to the most deific power ones, such as Diabolic or Imperial Dragon. Blessed with some divine perfection, you gain ranks in religion. Endowed with quick reactions, get bonuses to your initiative. Okay, cool. Alright, sweet. So we have the Diabolic Dragons. And the Imperial Ephemeral Dragons. Yeah. So those are really cool. Occult Dragon Blood. Yada yada yada. Mysterious dragons such as the Conspirator or Omen Dragons. You are drawn to stranger parts of the world. Gain proficiency in occultism. Become trained in the skill and you get oddity identification. So you get to identify oddities. So that brings us to the Omen Dragon, which I do like. I do like the influence of the Chinese mythology there. And the Conspirator Dragon. Which is that one there? Yeah. Okay. Primal Dragon Blood. A dragon with a deep connection to the natural world, such as an adamantine or horned dragon, resides in your family tree. Taking the role of protector of the wilderness, you gain nature, trained in nature. You can use nature to sense directions and understand locations and stuff. Cool. So the adamantine dragon. Right, big old chunky boy there. Is the adamantine dragon. And then the last dragon. This is honestly my favorite, dragon. I think next to the fortune dragon. I like the Mirage Dragon story. I like the fortune dragon. He's really well, but thank you, Marcus. But I love the horned dragon. That one's just badass. I love that one. So yeah. Cool. All right, then powers. We have Breath of the Dragon, which gives you a breath weapon, which does a d4 damage that increases as you level, so that's good. Draconic Aspects, so you get claws, jaws, and tail, depending on what you're going to be getting. Draconic Resistance. It does kind of look a bit like Swamp Thing, yeah. Let's see. That's a rhino, just skinny and angry. Yeah, it's true. Skinny, angry, flying rhino. Draconic Resistances, so you gain resistance based on your associated dragon type. Draconic Sight, you gain dark vision or low light vision. Draconic Lore, we gain bonuses to diplomacy, intimidate, and lore about dragons. Scaly Hide, boost to your AC from hide armor. Love that. So it seems as though taking the Dragon Blooded literally shapeshifts you into a dragon, which begs the question of things like the Dragon Disciple and stuff like the Dragon-Blooded Sorcerer and how they would play into someone who is playing a Dragon-Blooded thing. Because if you're playing a Dragon-Blooded Lizardfolk who is a Draconic Sorcerer, how does that play in? So that'd be interesting. Deadly Aspect. You've honed your unarmed attacks with Deadly Degree, more damage. Cool. Draconic Sense. You get Scent as a thing. Draconic Flight. You can do the 20-foot fly, but you need to land. Traditional Resistances. So you get bonuses to your AC and your resistances to sleep, paralysis, and the like. Formidable Breath. More damage on your breath weapon. True Dragon's Flight. Proper flying. The Wing Buffet. That's cool, the fact that they've actually included this. Wing Buffet was one of the things that I think got left out because you used to be able to use your giant wings in order to blow wind and knock people around. Now they've brought that back, which is cool. Draconic Veil. You can cast humanoid form and transform into a humanoid. That's cool. So yeah, you can make yourself look human and less dragon. Majestic Presence. You create a fear aura? Yep, you create a fear aura. Form of the dragon. As the spell, you can transform into a full-blooded dragon, and lingering breath. You destroy environments, leaving enemy in pain when you use the breath weapon. The area you breathe in becomes difficult terrain, and then for those who critically fail, it's persistent damage. Fuck, that's devastating. So yeah, someone really fucking loved this versatile heritage. Someone was really in love with that. Lastly, we have the Duskwalkers. Now, psychopomps are the servitors of the realm of death, and when they have offspring with humanoid races or cut deals with humanoid races, not have offspring. Ignore the offspring thing. Basically, they can go to the dead and make a deal with the psychopomps and get them not quite reincarnated, but given a lease on life, where they get to come back and have another crack. So, you know what? Let me read it. The first Duskwalkers manifested as a result of a bargain between two powerful psychopomps, the immortal guardians and the guides of the souls of the after dead. One believed that the souls who helped preserve the cycle of life and death, but had their own lives cut short, deserved reincarnation, while the other felt this would too greatly violate the same cycle. In the end, the Duskwalkers rose from a concession between these two psychopomps. Such rebirths could occur, but in limited frequency. Only a finite number of Duskwalkers ever exist at any one point in time. When a Duskwalker perishes and faces final judgment, a new one incarnates within a year from a deserving soul. Typically somewhere far from a previous Duskwalker's birthplace, Duskwalkers manifest in locations with sanctified connections to death, such as graveyards or temples, and begin their lives as adolescents. No Duskwalker is capable of bearing or siring biological children, but this doesn't prevent them from establishing families though typically through adoption. Duskwalkers have an inherent understanding of the cycle of life and death, and in most cases this manifests as a deep respect for the cycle and pushes Duskwalkers to occupations that help them protect it, such as hunters of undead, midwives, morticians, and priests. So yeah, that's kind of it. It's people who didn't get to live their full lives being given a second chance, but usually a deserving soul. So yeah. Mind Flayer Tadpoles. Yeah, that's it. Sexy Dream Guardian. Okay. Duskwalker feats. Chance death. Reaction. Once per day. When you would die as a result of a failed check. You can re-roll your recovery check. It's always good. Deliberate death. Once per day. When you're about to get the dying condition. Yada yada. Once you die because someone murdered you. Oh, so. Once you died because someone murdered a monster or soldier chose to strike you down just before losing consciousness, make a free attack. So yeah, if you go down, you get a free attack. That's pretty cool. You guys are chaos. All right, Duskwalker lore. Additional lore, medicine and religion. Cool. Weapons, scythe, longbow, bowstaff, composite longbow, and staff. Nice. Okay, cool. They're pretty decent ones there. Doesn't surprise me that they have the scythe, to be honest, because they're the whole death orientated. Ghost Hunter, your connection to the Boneyard ensures you blow strike 2 against spectral beings. Unarmed strikes against incorporeal creatures become magical. If they're already magical, they have Ghost Touch. Nice. Love that. Gravesight. You have Dark Vision. Nice. Alright, Life Sense. You gain a ability to sense life within 10 foot of you. Spirit Soother. You can attempt to check to quiet haunts, which is cool. Ward against corruption. Bonuses against death effects, disease, and all undead or Sakil effects. I love the fact they've included Sakil in here as well. For those of you who don't know, Sakil are representations of death through various means. So like death by poisoning, death by needles, death by attacks by animals, and they represent the fear of that death. So I love the fact that they've included Psychoplumps and Sakil. I would have also asked for Daemons, maybe. That would have been my thought, ideally. But, you know, that's where I'm at. So ward against corruption, that's cool. Death by chocolate. Yes. Hey, what's up? Thanks so much, Bravies. Good to see you. Popping on both accounts now for the dues. Well, thank you. Well, you're also in the channel points as well. Alright, Duskwalker magic. You get divine spells. Quietus strike. All your weapons and arms strike are magical and deal void damage to living creatures and vitality damage to undead. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That's really cool. Resist ruin. You gain resistance to void. That's cool. And can cast false vitality. Like that. Boneyard's call. You have a powerful connection to the Boneyard. You can cast teleport twice per week. You can only travel to the Boneyard in the Boneyard universe. That's cool. So yeah, your 17th level ability, you get to teleport back to the Boneyard and maybe even go speak to the dead. That's cool. Like the Greek mythology daemons? Yes. Daemons are also representations of death in Pathfinder. So Thana daemons are death by time. Leuco daemons are death by disease. There's just a bunch of different types of daemons. But yes, they all have different ways that they die. And the people who lead the daemons are the 4 horsemen of death. So yeah. Was that a bone saw? Yes. Okay, cool. Well, there we go. Backgrounds, of course, are the usual backgrounds. We'll flick through them right now. Just astrologer, barber, bookkeeper. Yeah, these look very par for the course, very basic stuff. Rare backgrounds. Amnesiac. Ooh, that'd be a good one. I wonder what it would tell you to do. Backgrounds you can't remember. It's up to you and your GM to handle the truth of your backstory. You gain 3 free attribute boosts and 2 you choose to and the GM picks on the 3rd. Okay, that's interesting. I don't mind the Amnesiac. Blessed, Cursed, Feral Child, Feybound, Haunted, Returned, Royalty. Yeah, pretty much that's the whole Gay Walker's crew. All right, cool. And then the classes that are now available in this book, which we will cover in another video. Alchemist, the Monk, the Barbarian, the Oracle, the Champion, the Sorcerer, the Investigator, and the Swashbuckler. Cool. Alright guys, well I'm gonna go eat some food and, have a bit of an unwind before I do more games later on today. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us today. I hope you were, rightly entertained. I know I enjoyed myself as well. We are going to go and raid. Oh, you know what? We showed you guys me lifting up Sir Pfeffers. So I'm gonna go and raid Pfeffers right back in his chat where he is playing Brain Games PvP at level 12 with a bunch of fun and amazing people. So guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Stay safe. Stay wonderful. Be kind to each other because why the fuck not? It's free. And until we meet again, as always, from us to you, game hard, die trying. Good night, folks!